Okay, we are live. Welcome to the 6th session of the Queen of Hearts Chronicle. I don't have a pre-planned title for this one. It was originally going to be, I think it was Never Ever Make a Deal with a Dragon with a Strike Through a Vampire. So that's probably what it's going to be, but if I decide we come up with a better title just based on what actually happens, that'll be that. So I'm going to give a short recap of what happened last for each of the characters because, we had a lot of stuff where it was broken up and things were kind of choppy. And then I'm going to start with the first scene. So last time we saw Williem, they were in Lisa's manor and they had formed a bargain with them and in the process became more vampiric and is now able to blend into kindred society. But at the same time, the looming situation for them is that that Alistair and their sire was going to visit them and have this kind of meeting because of the implications of the dinner where Williem kind of interrogated or antagonized Rowland, Alistair's sire. So there's going to be some conflict going on there, and we're going to see how that plays out this session. With Erravok, the last thing that happened with them was they were basically treated as a guest at the dinner. They revealed their true form to the entire society, and as a result of that, they were blood bonded to Lady Anne, who then escorted them to a hotel, and they took some time, to walk around the city. And now it is nighttime, and presumably the kindred are returning. So we're going to jump right into that scene. But it's also important to realize that besides that, we also have the situation with Charlotte, who was exiled from the dinner and is now going to be dealing with their own personal matters following that night. Because for them, I think the entire night passed. So this is going to be the night after the dinner, basically. For Lisa, the last thing that happened was, again, the bargain with Williem, as well as the situation going on with Alistair kind of moving in, or at least kind of trying to make their way into their home. And the last thing that happened to Alistair was they were kind of having post-Durance flashbacks during the dinner because of their experiences with Princess. And afterwards, they found out that Rowland was the one responsible for bringing the changelings to the prince's attention. And he was pretty frustrated about that. And they also met with Charlotte as well. And the last thing that happened was they walked through the sunlight to get into Lisa's manor and kind of meet with them. So the three of them are all in the same place. So we're going to start on the scene. If you can kind of take yourself back to the situation in the hotel, it's still very dark. It's now getting closer to nighttime, early in the night, still not very late. You heard footsteps outside, and almost like a play, we kind of pan out into this scene, kind of arranged left to right. You can almost hear them because, again, you have, as a changeling, you have sharper than normal kind of clarity, awareness of the world around you. You can hear these footsteps, and there's apparently, as far as you can hear, a very loud argument outside. So you might catch some of the words that are being exchanged, but almost as if it's a play, we see coming from the dark, entering from stage left. There are three figures who enter. Juliet, the sheriff from the Princess Elysium, Rory, the priest and spymaster, as well as Lady Anne, the person who is your hostess and current focus of your affection, your mystical affection. And they are talking in the hallway rather violently, almost. You can hear the Juliet kind of footsteps are more aggressive, and she is the one yelling the loudest. in the empty hallway. She kind of is, you can almost feel her kind of leaning against the door, right? Like against the door, and almost like pressing her hand against the wall where you're standing. And she is absolutely furious. She says, I will not bring myself any further to that thing than I have to. I won't do this. I don't care what the prince wants me to do. It won't happen. He is a monster. He is something I have seen before. These Fae are horrible creatures. They are beyond what we are expected to deal with. They are not of our blood, and they should not be treated fairly. He is not something I want to have to deal with. He is definitely something completely beyond help. And just sort of looks at her kind of sternly and is like, you're being very cruel. Listen, this is your duty. If you are to be held as sheriff of this city, you must heed the prince's word and do what he says. Guard who he says you will guard. It is not your place to question his orders. Rory kind of chimes in, says, I say that based on what I have read in the Bible, that when they mention these monsters, these dragons, they are beasts that have been destroyed by God. I unfortunately must agree with Juliet here. This creature, whatever he is meant to have been destroyed. He is not meant to be on this earth. He is clearly something that is a complete abomination.
Wow, what a hypocrite.
They continue this sort of argument, and Anne just kind of like again has this very stern tone with them. Oh, well, so for the reference, I will actually show you some references, because I actually was looking into this for like what their context would be. For context, I will explain this, but I'll probably explain it after the session, because I don't want to interrupt with an info dump. But there is actually mentions of these kind of creatures in biblical text.
Well, really,
so
just vampires?
No, not vampires. No. But other creatures like dragon-like are described. Anyway. Anne is sort of giving them a stern look, and she says to them, well, I have him under control. So whatever your grievances are, you keep them to yourselves. I am going to deal with this myself. If you have any suggestions how to improve this situation, instead of walking away, we need to make the prince happy. That is what is important. And Juliet is sort of, you can almost again hear her kind of moving off the wall and turning away and walking out of the scene. She says, oh, well, happy? Ridiculous. I'm not happy. We're not happy. There's no point in trying to be happy. And she just kind of starts walking down the hall, and you can kind of hear the footsteps fading in the distance. And Rory sounds concerned. He's like, I think she's slipping again. She has always been troubled. Do you have any ideas? Well, I know a man who I trust very well. A man who could definitely help us deal with this problem. Mikhail is someone that I think could definitely help us in this situation. He would have no issues housing this thing and destroying it if necessary. Don't, again, with this destruction business. He's not be destroyed. But if he's going to be brought to Mikhail's Haven, I might as well ask him to pack his things. His things? He's nothing. He has nothing. And you hear Juliet kind of just run down the hallway.
Yeah, that's technically correct. I have not much of anything. I wonder if they'll give me meat in a doggy bag.
I leave her be.
And something.
He just sort of waves her off, and you see the first thing you actually visually see is the door kind of slowly kind of open, and Anne just sort of peeks inside to check on you. Hello, Erravok?
Yes.
I have something for you. She holds in her both of her hands like this large bottle of wine, and she kind of, as she comes into the room, she puts it down on a table. Would you like any? And actually, for context, I realized this after I wrote the scene, but Erravok would probably have very little idea of what this even is, because he would have no contact with kind of high society or have any contact with like what wine is sort of like.
What is it?
Wine. I picked it for you. Not from a vineyard personally, but just from a nice shop.
I see. Wine.
She pours a glass for you without actually like hearing your answer, and you would definitely notice there's a very pungent aroma to it, almost familiar kind of smell.
I'm like, let me guess, more blood.
Yeah, I was guessing that as well, sort of out of character anyways.
But she pours you a glass and she says, well, due to certain circumstances, we've found it to be in your best interest to be moved. So if you could prepare yourself to leave, I will be bringing you to your new, more permanent home. This was just a temporary place.
A temporary place. Earlier, those monkeys in the red suits wouldn't let me leave.
Oh, did they trouble you? I'll have a stern word with them about this. They didn't mention anything to me about causing a problem.
It was resolved.
Good. Here, have a drink, and when you're ready, we can leave. She actually doesn't, like a Bond villain. She doesn't actually like stand there to watch you. She actually leaves the room, and says, "I'll meet you in the lobby when you're ready. We can go. We should leave quickly."
Can I roll or sniff it or something?
Yeah, that would be wits survival, unless you have a skill that you think would make more sense. But
no, with survival's fine. Let's see. 2. So 4 dice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you get, assuming your clarity track isn't filled, I don't think you have any clarity damage, so you get 2 extra dice as well.
Okay, so it's 6, 8, 10.
I love that picture. 2 successes. Okay.
3.
So, 3? It says 2.
Oh, I don't know why I thought 3.
Okay. Well, good news is you definitely tell something's wrong with this wine. In fact, you notice, first of all, that the bottle...
Actually, I know why I thought 3. I'm thinking Exalted again.
The first thing you notice, actually, before you even check the wine, is that the bottle itself has been tampered with. It seems like it was pre-opened. Like it wasn't actually completely fresh. Like they would have already opened the wine and then probably put something in it, you'd assume, and then closed it again. Or there might be a small opening inside of the cork, a small hole that they could have dropped something in, like a needle or something similar. So there's a very high likelihood that this bottle has been tampered with, and you kind of get the whiff of that same smell. It's not incredibly familiar to you, but and you're not addicted to it because you passed that roll, but you can tell that there is a strong kind of scent of allure almost to this glass that you taste. And you get kind of the whiff of wine as well. It's the very kind of, it's not like a sweet wine. I'm not very familiar with wines. I've never had wine, but I would assume that it's more of a smoky kind of smell to it. It's more of a deep flavor. Like you can get some of that, like a strong whiff of the flavor of it, but then there's something else in there that you kind of have a familiar sense of. It's a very strong smell, grapes and such. But you've never had wine before, so it's not like you'd immediately think, "Oh, I want this." So you might even be repelled by the strong smell itself. But you definitely know that something's wrong.
Out of character, I've had a ghost pepper wine.
Ooh, that's crazy. I will say that, in fact, to you, being more tribal, this would be similar to maybe like a poison. Or like some kind of if you made like berries or something, it'd be similar to that. But you kind of get the sense that maybe this is a situation where like a poisoning would be happening, or like some kind of, it's a strong drink, but maybe they're using that to mask something here.
Well, if that's the sense that I'd be getting, along with the little bit of conversation overheard in the hall, and yeah. He probably won't touch it.
Great.
Not after Rory McShitass was going, "Oh, well, we could destroy it."
We can kill him. It's like, okay, let me feed him this poison, this very strong drink that's clearly like poisoned.
I was gonna say, can you
Fucking tripod. It's like wrestling with the fucking.
You have to realize what's going through my head right now is Erravok as the Cloverfield monster.
I was gonna say, can you actually use your fire breath to like make some of the wine like dissipate so it looks like you drank it? Like,
technically, yeah, probably he could. I don't think I'd make him spend for that too. He could probably just do that.
Look, I want the Batman. Yeah. If I can just stay up.
You will get me the Batman, or so help me.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, do you want to make it look like you drank it? Do you want to like burn it? You want to do anything like that?
No, he's not too fussed.
Okay, so he's just gonna leave it there and then go into the. And you don't bring. There's nothing you have to bring with you besides the clothes on your back. So you just move to the lobby, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so you move into the lobby, and then from there, you guys kind of both walk into the night, and from that we kind of fade into another place. We see Charlotte walking towards like a very kind of rundown-ish building, probably more closer towards the maybe poor end of the city where Erravok was the other day, and she set up a meeting with someone. And as she's kind of walking into this space, we see like sort of a flashback of the moment where you entered the mortal world. You have a mask kind of on your face, and we see you dive through the hedge portal, and the mask on your face just kind of cracks slightly, and you just rip it off, and you finally breathe air that is actually like fresh and is coming through your lungs, and it's very invigorating. And now you return to this place where you brought the mask to get it fixed. You meet someone inside, Charlotte, and they kind of have this small little tarp, alongside this table. They kind of have all these tools laid out. This small-ish man. He's not a fae, but you might confuse him for some kind of gnome or other creature. But he's clearly not actually a fairy because he doesn't have a mane of any kind that you recognize. So he's just sort of a shorter man with a lot of tools, and he kind of removes this little cloth from the little in thing that the sort of the shape of your mask, and he kind of pulls the cloth off, and on the outside to a mortal, it just looks like a regular, not like a face mask, but it does look like a gas mask. But to or it might look like a face mask of some kind. But to you, you can see what it truly is. It's an Arcadian mask. It's decorated in like little tubes. It has like a steampunk sort of aesthetic, maybe some gold. Not really a lot of clockwork, but it has that sort of kind of tint to it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was damaged, and it normally wouldn't be able to be repaired by mortal hands, the damage that was done to it was fairly minor, so it wasn't really something that you would require magic to fix. It was just sort of, it needed a little slight, like one of the tubes was maybe like cracked, or like actually because they wouldn't be able to repair that part, so it might have just been part of the face that was messed up, or the front part that they just had to like kind of chip back together. So you kind of got lucky in the way that it broke. It didn't actually completely shatter, and you were able to get it repaired pretty quickly. It only took maybe a day or two, or a night or two. It's only been 2 nights, so just about 2 nights you return, and the man's kind of looking at you. He's like, "Well, I got it done pretty quick, wouldn't you say?"
Mm-hmm. I'm quite impressed with your craftsmanship.
I don't know what you need this for. It looks kind of mask. Why would you want to cover your face, doll?
She sort of like picks up the mask and studies it.
Yeah, you remember. You're starting to already kind of just holding it in your hands. You feel the relevance and the weight of it. You know that this belongs to your keeper and that you stole it, but it's yours now.
Excuse me, it was a gift, quote unquote gift.
Well, you didn't return it.
Okay, Gollum.
It was given to me, so it's mine now. Well, technically.
Birthday present.
That's true. Your keeper did give it to you, but when I say give, more like he shoved it on your face and didn't let you take it off. So I guess in that way you could say that.
Yeah, I marked it as mine. Totally.
Totally.
I agreed on it. It's mine now.
Ew. Yeah. So you hold it. Do you put it on, or do you just kind of?
I'm probably not gonna put it on right now. And the risk of a psychiatric episode in front of an old man.
Speaking of, I need you to roll 4 dice for clarity.
Oh boy.
Because this is actually like probably the most direct experience with your durance. So just to, I'll kind of describe it after you roll, just to see how intense it gets.
Man, you're really giving into the madness.
Yeah, this is very dangerous for them to do.
It's my fault. Well, I haven't put it on yet.
Well, I'm saying for 4 dice for clarity, because you said you'd put it on.
Oh, but no, I said I wasn't going to put it on yet.
Oh, okay. You want to avoid. Okay.
No, I said I wasn't. I literally said I wouldn't want to put it on in front of the old man in case I have a psychiatric episode with it.
Okay, but you would put it on after you would leave and then you'd.
Yeah.
Put it on. Oh well,
I'd probably leave and I'd go into like an alleyway and I'd go put it on.
Okay, so now you can roll.
All right.
But that's actually pretty smart. You don't want to have like a breakdown in front of him, but you're getting uncomfortable just holding it. Putting on your face is
what
a
is
lot
their fetish?
I mean, that's a thing. Like, what's it called? When you strangle someone? I don't know.
Asphyxiation fetish?
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, considering that's supposed to make me breathe. All right, I got 2 successes.
Very bad. Okay, so now you need to roll 1 die for your clarity damage.
I got one.
Okay.
I got one success.
So that means what you do on your sheet is you mark 1/ on your clarity track.
Clarity track. Oh, there it is. Just put in the slash?
Yeah, just put in 1/.
Right, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was explaining this is when you're a weaker changeling, you don't take a lot of damage from these kind of things, but as you get stronger, it builds up, and you also take a lot of damage if you do dream combat or you get affected by other magic. So 1 isn't really a lot, but if you don't heal it, it'll build up. And the only reason why, for example, Williem was able to heal it was because he got in contact with his touchstone. So anyway, you put this mask on your face, and it immediately feels like this strange mix of complete and utter agony and total and complete comfort, because you've worn this mask for, I would assume, at least most of your life. A good chunk of your time in your durance, maybe decades, you've worn this mask, and to have it off is a symbol of your freedom, but as well it kind of doesn't make you feel complete. Now, once you have the mask on, you immediately feel this sense of that you've returned to your full self, and whether that makes you feel comfortable or not, you're not sure, but as you put the mask on and you feel your breath once again, sort of cycling through this machine, you feel your mind kind of dip back into the reality that you once lived in. You're strapped to a table. There's a light kind of shining in your eyes. And if at any point you want me to tone down my description or stop, please.
I'm fine.
But you're strapped to a table. There's a light shining in your eyes, and you're kind of tilted up towards this man wearing a large red coat, his face almost completely covered by the shade of the backside of the light. The mask, a similar type of mask, kind of completely covering his face, almost like he has no face. His entire face is a mask, and he speaks to you, but his words are
No one cared who I was before I put on the mask.
So completely, his words are completely muffled to the point where you can't understand anything. And the only things that you can make out from him are the occasional noises of breathing. It's not necessarily like Darth Vader breathing, but it's very heavy nonetheless. So
it's that Dead by Daylight waiting breathing.
Yeah, you can't hear or understand anything that he's saying.
I was gonna say, is he the Pyro from Team Fortress 2?
Pretty similar, yeah, I guess. But anyway, you can't understand anything that he's saying. But there's a man standing beside him, maybe he's more of a shorter person, like deliberately like halfling height, who has more of an arched back. He doesn't have like a hump. He's not Igor, but he's definitely like hunched over slightly and sort of tiny. And he has maybe warts kind of across parts of his face probably. And he has his back looks more broken than it does, like a hump or anything like that. Like his back is just twisted, almost like sideways. And he's kind of standing on maybe another kind of pile of books or some other, raised thing that he's kind of standing to meet your height. And he says, oh, don't worry. He has plans for you. Yes. He says that we must remove your innocence. It is very dangerous if we keep it. If you are going to work with us, it must be removed. We will begin operating immediately.
How do you remove one's innocence?
Oh my God! Please tell me this is not what I think it is.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Well, remember, they're changelings, so they don't. When they say that, they can actually remove people's emotions, not like literal. Yes, it sounds very horrible in that context if you think about it in a mortal way. But like in changeling, they trade in emotions and dreams. So you might misconstrue it as meaning something completely different And in your mind, you might flavor the trauma in that way, but it's not literally that. It's more of a figurative innocence.
Okay, thanks God for
I
that.
was asking in character, like in the flashback.
So the next things that you remember are being half conscious, half aware, half awake. The pain is still not completely numb. They don't have, full anesthesia.
Fucking
And
cheap ass.
it's terrifying to watch because literally they take a saw and slide it across the front of your body, and you can literally see your skin being cut open.
So they're dissecting me.
Yes, essentially. They take like these tubes and literally start sucking out parts of your humors, your blood from your heart. And this kind of surgery is not normally possible. So whatever they're doing involves some strange magic. But they're literally sucking the blood from your heart. And as this is happening, your skin becomes more and more white.
It sounds like I know what it's called. It's what they do to dead people.
They exhume them, I think it's called.
No, it's like
Or no, that's if
what the process is called of embalming.
embalming. Yeah, it's similar.
Because like with embalming, like they stick like a big old needle in your
Right.
neck, and they just start draining all the blood.
Right. Well, essentially, they're doing this in a more thematic way. So they're literally sucking the blood from your heart, and your skin becomes more and more white. And for a moment, you actually feel your breath, your breathing stop, and you can barely hear the voice of the man, the smaller man.
Quick question: like as like my breath stops and my body essentially appears to be dead, do I still feel everything?
Yes. Or at least you half feel everything, because otherwise you'd probably go into shock and die. But you feel a lot of pain. This is not a simple procedure where you feel at peace. No, it's terrifying, and the pain is unimaginable. But you feel your breath halt, and the man says, "Oh, I think we might have pierced her lung. Can we fix?" And they're trying to repair.
He's a hobgoblin trying to slap a band-aid on.
To repair your body as you're being operated on, and then we flash forward to you kind of with this mask on your face, and we hear your breathing kind of heavy as you're remembering these things and being completely terrified by them.
I'd say like her body is sort of like while she's in the alleyway, like her back is like pressed against like the brick wall, and like her fingers are sort of almost like her like long fingers are sort of like almost clawing at the wall as she's experiencing this.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna make this a little harder for you to recover. So I'll say you can turn the slash on your clarity track into an X, which is like lethal damage. Because I feel like it'd be more intense than just like a bashing type of thing. Because this is probably the most traumatic memory that you have.
I could think of worse.
So just change it to an X for me.
All right, I did.
Okay, so after this, what would you do? Just so I have an idea of where you would go from here.
I guess she would slowly peel off the mask and put it back into her I guess she has like a small
bag,
yeah, small bag, purse, whatever they have the time. And I suppose she would continue her trip down to the hospital where she originally planned to go.
Okay, cool, great, sounds good. Actually, that'll make things interesting for later. So I'll get back to you on that. But we have not yet joined the main event, so to speak. So next, I'm going to ask Lisa. How do you react when Alistair enters your home? Because we didn't get to play out that sequence because both of you weren't here at the same time. So this is when Alistair enters your home after Williem, and he basically kind of walks.
Who might I mind you was like burned on the arm for a minute, and then it got better.
Yeah. because you know they walk out through the sun into your manor, and they were not invited.
So, just to clarify, it's still daytime outside.
Yeah, but we were, instead of making you wake up
Well,
again, this
it
would
was
be, yeah.
it was starting to get daytime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my initial reaction is, oh, come on. Again?
At
But,
the very least, she closed the door behind her, so that's nice.
but then I see, oh my god. You okay?
You can see the burning, kind of the singeing of their skin,
Yeah,
like
that's why I'm
start to reverse as they walk in.
Oh my God.
So they're healing themselves.
Do I smell bacon?
God damn it, Dustin.
It doesn't smell like bacon. It smells more like burning flesh. But
Dustin, I'm still dying because of the book offended me thing.
from last, yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you insane? I mean, it's daytime outside. What were you doing here?
I didn't have much of a choice, and I will only be here for a little bit. I'm so sorry. Please just let me stay here at least until the sun goes away. That's all I ask for you. I'm so sorry. And I won't destroy anything or cause any trouble. I swear, I promise. Just please don't put me back outside.
I want to also clarify this is important for whatever decision you make in character, that based on the laws of the society of Kindred, you have complete authority within your domain. So
Which is why she's asking you.
Yeah, and they're begging you, but they weren't invited. So you have complete right, for example, to, I mean, kicking them out would be cruel, but you'd have the right to do that if you wish.
Yeah, no one would judge you or pretty much like
Okay.
say that you betrayed Kindred, because it's within your divine right to basically put somebody out.
Yeah.
Okay. Come.
Mm-hmm.
I take him to the living room
Okay.
and I tell him to sit down on the couch.
Is this before or after I fell asleep, by the way?
This would be. Well, you
I'm
didn't.
assuming it's before, right?
This is before, because
Yes,
we
that's what I
already
thought.
we already know that you end up staying the night, but I wanted
Yeah.
to give them a chance to go back because you guys weren't together.
Yeah, and proper retcon it if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
So they said sit on the couch. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course. She's gonna sit on the couch. Like,
Okay.
Look,
it's his place.
look, I don't have much time before I return to Torpor, so try to explain to me as fast as you can how you ended up in this situation.
So I'm also getting pretty close to Tofor, so I will also try and be as fast as I can. So, my sire said that they really needed to talk to
Williem.
Williem. Yeah, thank you. Really needed to talk to Williem, but before, like when we found him, he was running away, and I tried to follow him as best as I could because, of course, I need to talk to him, and he ended up here. Because
And your sire ran off.
Yeah, my sire ran off, and because I didn't want to, risk losing them later, and because it was getting morning, the door was left open. I just tried to get in here as fast as I could. I got slightly burned because of it, but I'm all right for now. But, I just needed shelter for this, and I really didn't want to lose him because it's very, I wouldn't say hard to track him, but it would be very inconvenient if I lost him again when I have something very important to talk to him with. I didn't mean to offend you or anything by coming in here unannounced. Otherwise, I would have asked permission.
All right.
But the circumstances, as you can tell, were very pressing. If I had stayed out there, I would have been not great.
Armand,
Yes, ma'am. What is it?
would you please take this young? I'm sorry. Are you a man or a woman?
I'm fine with whatever you call me.
Okay. Please take.
No, it's up to her to decide.
Are you a boy or a girl?
Okay, Oak.
So now we know what Princess did. All right.
Please take this young person to the guest room.
Yes, I will right away. Please, with me. The butler takes you up.
But she wants to say something to her beforehand. She's
course.
gonna say, if you wouldn't mind, could I talk to like Williem just before I fall asleep, please? Because I need to at least let him know my intention.
You're about to fade, so you wouldn't have the time to do that now. But you're going to have the chance tonight for sure.
Damn.
We already know.
Willem is sleeping for now. You will be able to talk to him the next night.
All right, I hope so. And
She agrees, obviously.
yeah, she'll go and she'll probably pass out midway on the way there with the freaking butler.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So they
she just like collapses.
They carry you to a guest room, and then from there, the next thing I need the two of you to do is spend Vitae to awaken for the night.
Oh, okay, that's easy.
I think Olivier already did that last time.
No, I deliberately told them not to so that it wouldn't be confusing for this.
Okay, so I am doing it now.
Yes, exactly. So then both of you would do that.
Let me get back on my sheet. I wasn't on my sheet just because it wasn't my scene, so I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
So
once
also, I need a little bit of help from you, Dova. I need the experience and cost sheet for
yeah. Sure.
Experience and stuff like that.
It'd be in the vampire book. I
just wasn't sure, and then also because of like universal costs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I know it varies, I guess, between book to book.
The universal costs don't change, but for specific things.
Yeah.
We can talk about that after the session for sure. I can give you a copy of the.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to look at that when I got the chance.
Yeah. I'll make sure to give that to you. Just send me a PM. I'll give it to you later, or we can talk about it after the session.
Yeah, it's just because I have an experience point. I didn't know if I wanted to spend it or if I wanted to save it for later.
We'll talk about that after for sure. After we do the experience for this session,
yeah, I'm just trying to
spend stuff.
Grab the document so I could take my Vitae off. You could just assume, obviously, that I've taken my Vitae off.
Yeah. So then you guys both do that. Once you wake up, once both of you spend the blood that you need to awaken. See, I'm so used to now watching V5 where you just roll a check. Now you actually have to spend a point out of the pool. I hate that now compared to the hunger system. But
is this V6 or?
No, this is a completely different. V5 is the 5th edition for Masquerade, which is separate. But anyway.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just so used to watching them do because I like rouse checks so much better than having to spend a point. But
all right, I'm at 8 out of 10 Vitae.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Also, do you get willpower back after sleep? Or how does this work?
You had 1 willpower, so you get 1 willpower back. Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was by sleeping or what.
That's correct. Yes, it's sleeping, your touchstone, and your demeanor and your mask, your dirge.
Okay, cool. Just trying.
So you would get 1 back from that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Didn't I Hold on one second. I'm assuming my wonton's over now.
I talked with I was gonna bring that up. I talked with Olivier about the same thing. I wanted to have it stay until the end of this session, until the end of this night, and then it'll go away. So until the end of this session, until this night is over, it's gonna stay, and then after this night, it'll end. Because technically you guys got it a night ago.
Well, I resoluted mine, right? Because I indulged in something that constituted a breaking point.
Which was that specifically? Because you already did that. You did that. You did the breaking point before you got the condition. I don't know what you did after that you would have resolved it from.
I thought it was. It wasn't it indulging something that you normally wouldn't do.
Right, but
yeah,
I'm asking what it was.
That was going literally through the sun to get to him.
Well, that's not a breaking point, though.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
No, that's just you took damage from that. It's not a breaking point unless you like frenzied, but you didn't frenzy from that.
Yeah, that's right. If I had frenzied, I would have.
I would have probably said maybe that.
All right, then that's fine. I just needed to ask about that.
It's going to last for this session, and if you don't resolve it this session, then it will fade. at the
Yeah,
end.
no, that's fine. I just had to ask.
Yeah, good question, because I told Olivier that, but I didn't tell you, so it's fair.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my mic back up until you need me.
Well, we're starting the next scene now, so.
Well, no, I know. I meant like until I need to talk. It's
Okay.
because I can lift my and lower my
Okay.
thing whenever needed.
So, I'll set something up that's important first. So as you guys are getting up for the night, the scene between Williem and Lisa would still happen. So that happens, and then there's a knock at the door, basically like someone is kind of trying to come in, and you weren't expecting anybody, Lisa. So you're not sure what it is now, but apparently someone wants your attention.
Oh, come on.
William's kind of going to go alert.
Mikhail says, "Oh, I'll get it. Don't trouble yourself. It's fine. I'll get it." Because now he's awake, because he wasn't awake this whole time. So now when he wakes up, he goes down into the dorm. It says, "Unless you want to."
Very well.
He kind of slowly kind of opens the door, and you see this look of like extreme frustration kind of cross along his face. "Oh, it's you. Hey, can I come in? I have something I need to give you." "Well, yes, you." Like you see Rowland kind of slide through the little crack in the door, and you see Mikhail just like back away from him. He's like, "You snake, get out of here. I don't want you in our haven.
What is it?
You need to leave."
William's kind of going to get up at the word snake, like.
You just jump, like.
Yeah.
You can hear this argument going on between them, and you see Rowland kind of holding a piece of paper. He's like, now, listen. I could leave, but if I do, then I'll have to tell Lady Anne that you don't want her message. I'd be happy to let her know that you don't want it. So if you don't mind, I'll leave now. Thanks. She'll be really happy to hear that you don't want her special message for you. So it says, "Bye. Where's my child, by the way? I think I lost him around here. Are you holding him hostage, Mikhail? I thought you were a good knight. Why are you holding my child hostage?" "I'm not holding him hostage. Just give me the letter. Listen, I want it, whatever it is."
Okay.
He kind of grabs it from his hand, and Rowland's just like,
"You want me to take care of this? I am supposed to protect this house."
Yeah, you just like looking at Rowland like, what does he want? It's like, I'm supposed to protect the house. Like, what's going on? Is this guy causing a problem?
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss this in another room if you want. I don't think that we need to talk about this in front of everybody. You're causing a scene, Mikhail. "Oh, I'm going to cause a scene if you don't leave." "Oh, but we need to talk about this. This is important. This is about the guy from
Mikhail?
Yes, what is it?
I was about to ask the same thing.
This is no problem. We just need to discuss something privately. Please continue whatever you had planned for the evening. I'll be in the study." He kind of walks with Rowland, kind of eyeing him as they kind of move into another room, and he's holding this letter. So they kind of leave, and that leaves the three of you kind of among yourselves.
Mm-hmm. William's going to roll a stealth to follow.
Okay, you're gonna follow them?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. Dex stealth. But Mikhail probably doesn't care if you follow him, but Rowland's probably gonna be the only one who's gonna oppose you there. So let me go grab his. Yeah. Okay.
Would this count as hunting?
No.
All right.
You're tailing him. This would be, let's see, so I'll roll mine.
Well, that's one success.
Not bad. Let's see if he can do any better. I think he has, it'd be, and then plus plus probably like. Well, I think that's like Auspex is passive now, right? Does he just get like a thing? Oh wait, no, I'm not. I don't.
Auspex does give a boost to.
I actually don't. I don't remember. What I'm gonna have to check his sheet because I don't remember which.
It does give a boost to kindred sense.
Yeah, I just need to check to remember. Oh yeah, so I'll just give kindred senses. Duh. Okay.
Kindred sense. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah. So that'll be like at least.
Yeah, it multiplies.
Yeah. No. So he kind of when. So how are you following him when you're kind of coming up behind him? Like, how does that look?
I was gonna wait a moment and then like kind of walk like as he walks kind of thing like.
Does this have something like Rowland like immediately turns around? He's like, does this have something to do with you?
I've been charged to guard this house, and
well, there's no problem here, is there? No. Let's go. He kind of moves in the room. He shuts the door, and he actually locks it, and then he moves like further into the room so you can't like eavesdrop on him.
I'm like, he doesn't know my perception.
Well, no, but he deliberately like moves further away from the door.
All right, I will just kind of like lean on like the. I'm thinking of lean on a like bookcase or something like in the hall and like just kind of listen in.
Okay, he's deliberately making this difficult for you, so yeah. I'm gonna say like a -2 at least.
All right, so that's still like 10 dice for me.
Yeah,
so.
you still get 10 dice, but you don't get your clarity bonus basically.
Okay, yeah. So actually,
oh wait, does he have obfuscate? I wonder if he can use that anyway to like hide what. I don't think because it's usually visual. He can't like mask sound. It'd be cool if he could though. So I probably would say in that case like at least -3 because he has like obfuscate and stuff. So he can like hide. I think he does anyway.
Okay, so it's wits. I think.
Rowland is a diver, correct?
That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to look up where I put his oh wait, no, I can search for it.
I'm like, I'm not out Dava.
Oh no. I need to find where I put his disciplines. Because I know he has awe, but I'm trying to remember the other two that he has. I should have had this open. Okay, no, he has he has. Oh yeah, no, he does have obfuscate. So he didn't have auspex, but he has obfuscate. So I'll make it -3.
All right.
Just as like a passive thing because he is trying to hide.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's wits plus investigation, right?
This wouldn't be investigation. This would be wits and composure.
Okay, well, it's still 6 dice for me. So.
Yep. And then -3 from.
Yeah. So.
Penalties.
That'll be 5 dice because.
Yep. Okay.
I wasn't counting my thingy that would be taken away.
Yep.
All right. 2 successes.
That's still really good. Okay, yeah. So despite his attempts to mask his speech and his presence and trying to hide from you directly, you still have very sharp senses, so you're able to pick out bits of the conversation. So they basically have a conversation about, just to give you sort of a Cliff's Notes, they talk about how Erravok is going to be moved into the manor, how Mikhail is like under orders to like guard Erravok, and how basically Rory is kind of frustrated at Erravok and wants him to be watched very carefully and destroyed if necessary. So you essentially get all that information that I described in the first scene.
Yes, and I will relay this all to Lisa.
Okay, so you tell Lisa that Erravok is coming. Winter is coming.
Wait, what? Oh, Erravok, is that the dragon?
I'm gonna nod my head. Yes, he is the dragon.
Oh, Christ. Why is everyone coming to my room, to my house today? Well, let's look at the positive side of things. At least it will be an opportunity to discuss with him.
Do you tell Alistair about this too, or do you only tell Lisa?
I like tell Lisa because
Okay.
she's the one I'm
It's their
bonded
house,
to. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. While you were sleeping, someone from the diner came to talk to you.
To talk to me.
Yes.
Yeah, they'd be in the room next to yours, actually.
A kindred. His name is Alistair. He's in the other guest room next to yours. He should be awakening from torpor soon by now.
The little pub. I know her.
I don't know if you wish to talk to him or her, but I will leave that decision to you.
She should be no threat. I will talk to her.
All right.
Okay, so you enter.
Gets called no threat cries.
So this was actually something. I know this is a weird question.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thought that I had that crossed my head, and I think this is relevant for your character. This is for Alistair. So
Okay.
when you're waking up, this is literally the first time in 6 years that you're able to get up on your own and like dress yourself. So I was curious how you would choose to dress, considering you have like the option to actually change your own clothes and like dress the way that you would want to.
They still wear the dress that they normally do.
Okay.
It's just when you wear something that's like that, you sort of like for so long you pretty much get conditioned to the point where you're like, this is fine to wear. It just becomes a normal subset of your clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have extra clothes at Lisa's place.
Yeah, exactly.
They would. That's why I'm saying they have the option to wear anything.
Well,
anything.
for her, she wouldn't like. The main problem about that is even if she did want to change clothes, she wouldn't want to impose. She's already imposing by the fact that she didn't ask permission to stay here.
Okay.
The only reason why she was like allowed is because the person who owns this place was so kind enough to let her.
Yeah. It was a thought that I had. Yeah. I realized that like, oh, this is the first time this is the first night that you've woken up for the past 6 or so years that you've actually had like complete freedom.
Yeah. I'm still just saying like, this isn't her house. I don't think she has spare clothes at this random place.
They could get some, they could
probably find something.
They got clothes for Erravok.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyway.
Yeah, but you didn't go out in the daytime to be like, hey, bring me
Anyway.
Yeah, well, I know what you're talking about.
It was a question.
That's why I said no, Dustin.
It's so Williem, I would assume, enters your room. Do you knock or do you just bust your way in, blow the door down?
You just bulk your way inside.
I actually do not know like human manners, so I'm just gonna open the door and.
Oh, okay.
All right, so she just kind of like immediately turns her head over. Like she wasn't expecting like all of a sudden because you didn't even knock.
Also for in character, for Alistair, your sire's here because of blood sympathy. So like you can
feel him that he's arrived.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so you would know that in character that he's
because it's nighttime now, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. And wait. Okay, never mind. Because I heard stuff like of my child, and I wasn't sure who that was for a second. I forgot for a moment.
Yeah, that's Rowland.
Is that my sire, or who's Rowland?
Rowland is your sire, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I was confused for just 2 seconds. I'm sorry. It's been a couple days.
It's fair. Yeah, I don't blame you.
He's the one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's an interesting person. So she's gonna turn her eyes like onto you and be like, "Oh, just the person I wanted to see, actually."
Yes, that's why I've come.
Yes, sorry. So she'll stand up for a moment, kind of wobble for a second, and then like get her balance back again. She's like, oh, okay. Well, I haven't really slept this long in a while. Okay. So me and my sire actually needed to talk to you about something, but I'm not sure what exactly he wanted to talk about. The only thing that I need to say to you is, please take what he says with a small modicum of salt, because I don't know what he's going to say to you, and if it's going to be something stupid, but I just don't want him to cause trouble. He's already caused me enough trouble.
You can't fault a worm for being a worm.
Okay, well, I'll accept that. Also, and she'll take a moment to, like, you know, gesture towards like a seat for you. She'll ask for a moment. She'll be, so you came from the same place, didn't you?
Yes. After the scuffle with the rabbit, I learned of the portal and took my chance to escape.
Yeah.
What he's gonna say as he's gonna sit in the chair, but like not properly sitting, kind of like.
Is it like how like a dog would sit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's kind of just like on his hands,
legs on the side of your fucking like body, hands in like where your lap would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
And
about.
you can kind of see the melding of his mask and his mane. Like you see him as like a wolf man, kind of just perched on the chair.
Yeah. And of course he sees what I look like, which is
so now my mask looks more vampire-ish.
Right. Actually, that's worth noting is that you notice that they look more kindred-esque now.
Oh.
Like it'd be harder for you to tell that they're human.
Hmm.
They have more elongated sort of fangs. They look like a gangrel, basically, but more furry in their mane. But then,
More furry.
but then as you see that when you see their mask, because I think I was reading in the book, now they changed it in second edition where you can kind of see a bit of both.
Oh, okay.
They
Cool.
look more vampiric just in general. So even if you only see their mane, they still look more vampiric. They look more like they could pass for a gangrel or maybe they don't look as much like
so
a
they
werewolf.
don't stick out as much as a normal person might have.
But they didn't look like that when you saw them at the dinner. They looked like a wolf man. Now they look like a gangrel, and it looks kind of awkward.
Well, I mean, she's gonna find it weird, but at this point, she's seen so much weird shit already that this minor change is not gonna affect her too much. It's gonna like startle her at first, but she'll just have to accept it because it's how it is now.
Yeah.
So she's gonna look at him for a minute and then just kind of like narrow her eyes and just be like, "You didn't hurt him, did you?"
He still breathes.
Not what I asked.
Are you talking about your sire?
No.
The rabbit.
Oh,
rabbit.
the rabbit. Oh,
You
okay.
missed the context.
Okay, because I was like, your sire doesn't breathe at all. How would that?
Yeah,
So,
no,
the
because
rabbit-
like as much as she
rabbit-
absolutely does not like Princess, she's got a friend in the rabbit at the very least.
Yeah, the winter hair is okay.
Yeah, super nice.
I'll just say, like, I bit him once just to show I meant business. As he stabbed me.
Fine, I'll accept that. I guess an eye for an eye, I suppose. But please refrain from hurting him again. He's pretty much my only friend.
As long as he doesn't come at me with his swords, I won't.
I guess I'm just horse shit.
Yeah.
No, well, see, I knew that you were going to bring that up too. She doesn't. The reason why I said that, by the way, Morg, is
your only
because
friend in the hedge. That would
Yeah,
make. If you said.
she doesn't know if you really feel like she's a friend or not. That's why she's conflicted.
Oh, okay.
Like, because she doesn't know you as well as she wants to consider you like a friend. She's
Noah's
known
like,
the hair
"Oh,
for like
I'm
6
getting your
years.
slip charts."
If she does,
I might have to adjust my chart.
you're like a bee. Anyway, so she'll just take a seat and think to herself, like she's sitting right next to you. So she like glances over and she says, "Do you remember like my name that I gave, or is there introductions that need to be done again?"
You are Alistair, right?
Mm-hmm.
The prince.
And you're Williem.
Yes.
You were saying something about the prince?
Oh yeah, I was just mentioning like you introduced yourself to the prince. That's why.
Yeah. A real character, that man.
Yes, odd alpha. Do you know he wants something to do with? He wants the dragon for some reason.
I assumed as much, considering he was looking the dragon over like he was a piece of meat during the dinner.
You'd know, actually, this is stuff that you would know in character because you're fairly experienced as a kindred.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things you'd probably know in character. I won't make you roll to figure this stuff out.
Of course.
Actually, no. You know what? This is not really very public information, so you probably would want to roll.
Sure.
Intelligence occult.
Oh boy! So I get 1 intelligence because I have 0 occult, so it takes away from my intelligence.
Right. Okay, so yeah.
This is gonna be great.
1 die.
And I don't want to expend willpower on this.
No.
I'm trying to find it real quick. Dice.
This is not a chance die.
No, it's not. That's good.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to click that. Where's the dice? Oh, it's up top. It's all the way at the top in the roleplay center. Hey, what's success?
Okay.
Good stuff.
I will say this. You don't know a lot about dragons in specific, but you know that one thing you know from your experience as a kindred is that elder vampires usually need to feed on supernatural blood. Now, I mean, in the context of a vampire game.
Wow, so I was right that he was looking him over like a piece of meat.
In the context of a vampire game, that usually only means, elder vampires or other vampires, but in this case, it could extend to fae or dragons or other creatures could be considered valuable to him because of their blood.
Yeah.
And you would have an idea that possibly, you don't know specifically anything about dragons, but you'd assume that dragon blood is prized or is valuable or is potent or some such. You might have heard rumors about.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, you can only imagine the blood of a dragon being very powerful.
I mean, dragons are very supernatural creatures, so I could see why he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally wouldn't want it, but I mean...
You're not your thing. But unlimited cosmic power is probably something the prince might want.
Give it a few thousand years.
Yeah, give it a few thousand years. You'll switch out of that phase.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yes.
But yeah, no, she says, "Do you want to go meet back with the others, or do you have any questions for me?" Because it's only fair since I'd asked you some stuff.
I do not have questions for you.
All right, well then let's just head back to the others. I'm sure my sire has stuff to talk with you about, and also is probably looking for me by now.
Yeah, as if on cue, you can. Yeah, Williem, you hear the door open downstairs because you're Superman. You hear the door open downstairs. He's like, well. Okay, I don't really have anything else to do, so I guess goodbye. Oh, and he looks up the stairs, and he sees the two of you coming down. Oh, hey, guy. Williem, I think. Yes, I needed to talk to you. Over here. Hello.
I will.
See what I mean?
Yes, I've dealt with him before.
Gesture.
Am I still in the scene?
Oh yeah, you're still there. You're just kind of in the middle between.
Okay. May I attempt an aspects roll?
Yes, you may.
Good. All right. Let me check the roll.
No problem. I
Okay.
will check as
7
well.
dice.
Okay. It's not contested, so you can just roll it. Which variant are you using?
Well, I have only one variant for.
Oh, okay. You just have the one dot. Okay, got it.
I'm just like, damn it! Like now that after the scene's done, I'm like, damn it! I thought of a question I could have asked, but
3 successes.
You can go ahead if you want to ask something while you're outside.
I was gonna ask, what are you exactly? You're like us, only not. You're like them also.
You could say I'm a mixture of both. That's the best way that I could say it. As far as I know, I'm not one or the other completely.
And is the
Of course, I still have, in terms of needing to satiate myself, it's more kindred. But if it's when it comes to other aspects of myself, and she's like looking at like her skeleton hands, you can already tell she doesn't have to say anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, I won't pry into anything else.
It's fine. I don't mind talking about it. As long as they aren't here.
So, Lisa, what was your question that you wanted to ask me?
Okay.
3 successes.
Successes, yes. So I will ask, who here is most likely to hurt me?
To hurt you? Is that what the question was?
That's a good
Yes.
question. I will answer your question. Now I'm thinking of, so here specifically.
Yes.
Okay. No, the answer is actually very obvious to you. You can now, because the answer is kind of related to the beast, you can see that when Rowland like waves over to Williem, there's just a moment where you see him kind of glance toward you because you're in between, where they are and where he is. So there's just a slight, and if you didn't have Auspex, you wouldn't notice this at all. But there's a moment where he looks at you and there's a soft sort of anger in his eyes, and you can almost, his predatory aura doesn't like flare up right then, but you just see enough where you realize that he does not like you, and he would sooner throw you, down, out of a building than want to speak to you, directly about anything.
Well, that's just great. I have been a kindred in London for like 1 day, and I already have someone who wants me dead.
And you can tell also that he does not like your sire. So if for anything, it might just be because
He probably just doesn't respect you.
Yeah, probably.
That he doesn't like you at all.
I'm like, welcome to being Leon in his game.
Well, in that case, they tore your sire in half. That's
Well, yeah, but even like the people he lives with now, he's like
better, yeah.
Yeah.
But Rowland is not friendly towards you. Now, that is more of I would say, an exaggerated, like you're getting very potent sort of predator signals, but he isn't, and you can kind of guess like, oh, he wants to attack you out of anybody else here, but he's obviously not going to do that while he's in your domain, because then he could be killed.
Obviously.
So you're safe, but in terms of who is most likely to want to harm you, it'd be him. But he's not. You don't think he's going to harm you now, but in terms of his intent, yeah, he doesn't like you.
Okay. I actually wanted to make sure about that, so I am.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a situation where he doesn't like you. He doesn't want to kill you, but if he had the opportunity, he probably would. If he wasn't in your haven right now and you were in front of him and you did something to piss him off, he would probably shoot you in the face.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And then you would have an angry wolf.
I'm kidding. And maybe because you're also just role play off the bestial, maybe he can kind of sense that you're also very aggressive, so you can tell that maybe that's probably keeping him off of you as well. He probably doesn't want to start a fight with you because he knows that you'd fight back and it would be dangerous for him.
Okay.
So I can almost imagine this very short kind of growling contest between you two. And I don't want to roll a predatory aura type of thing, but I can just imagine there's this short exchange where he's like looking at you like menacingly, but then you look back with this kind of unintentionally bestial kind of motion, and he kind of just,
Oh, that's right. I still have the bestial condition.
Right. So I'm definitely imagining there's this short exchange that we see. And then he kind of waves to Williem like, "Hey, I'm over here," and he tries to get William's attention.
You had 2 more questions, or I think
2 more questions.
Oh, mine or
no?
okay.
It's the way the power works is they get 1 question, and then if they get a crit, they get 2.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not. Unless they want more detail, and I think I do.
That's only for the first level, or whether I get multiple questions per success, 1 per success for the second level.
Right, the second level.
But I haven't unlocked that one yet.
Right. So yeah. But I tried to give them a lot of detail on this, more than I normally would, just because.
Okay.
Just because, you had aspects, so it fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will head over to him. Yes.
Mikhail, just kind of, for reference, he just stays in the other room. He's like, he probably tells you the information that Williem already told you. He says, "Oh, Erravok's coming. He's going to be here soon. Eventually, he's on his way. We need to be prepared for that. But I don't think he'll be too much of a problem. I'm assigned to guard him because the sheriff decided it wasn't in her best interest, and I don't blame her." He doesn't seem to have a very happy tone of voice about this, and he just sort of leaves. He kind of gives Rowland a look as if to say, "Hey, don't screw with anybody here," and then he just kind of goes in the other room because he doesn't seem like he wants to be around him. So Mr. Knight over there is kind of in a bad mood, but I'm kind of excited, honestly. A dragon, doesn't that sound like fun?
I've only seen a dragon a few times, so.
A few times? You've seen it more than once, huh? What do you know about these things?
Well, they are big, breathe fire. I'm basically just going to go like what I know from the war, like
fire. Oh, that's he almost like shivers a bit. Oh, that's bad.
That's creepy. I mean, fire came back and kill us.
William's just going to be like, fire. Good to know.
Mental note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's and you can clearly tell he's like prodding you for information. So where did you see these before?
While hunting.
Hunting? Out in the countryside, they have things like that flying around, like in storybooks?
Yes, much like that.
Oh.
And then other things that you would not believe your eyes.
Can you roll me a chance die?
Right.
Just because he's saying like, oh yeah, the war you were in, probably just it's like, oh, it's not real.
I'm sorry. Can I use since apparently a dragon is about to enter my home? can I take time to get isolated and prepare my blood scourge?
Yes, you can do that ritual, probably with Mikhail in the other room if you want.
I got a 7, so I don't succeed.
Okay, that's good. That means that it doesn't affect you in any way. But he's basically like, what, the dragons? Like in a story? He's like, no, they're real. You have to be like, oh, no, they're real. I saw them. They exist.
You've seen him as well?
Yeah, but what you're saying, there's more of them?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, well, that's not what I came here for anyway, but I appreciate the information. So we were supposed to work something out, right? Me, Alistair, you, and, well, I don't want to talk to them, but they're here too. So we might as well have a good, conversation about how we can all help each other.
Yes, you were to give me favor amongst your...
Yeah, favor, right. Well, that's why we're here. I wasn't sure what you want. I'm willing to make sure that they don't see you too badly. That's not a problem for me. I can do that, but I want to make sure we're even. I don't want to have any kind of lingering debt, so to speak. I want to settle things. So whatever you need from me, I want to get it out of the way.
Like, could I do a bargain with him too?
You could, but that would I actually no. So you can't do a bargain. I don't think you can do a bargain with multiple people. You can do a contract with him, but that's you can't do an oath with him because it's only between changelings. But you can bind him to a different promise if you want. You can bind him to multiple.
Oaths are only between changelings. I thought it was possible to do them with humans as well.
Yeah, oaths. No, oaths are now only between changelings.
Okay.
And bargains and bindings, or bargains and sealings are between.
Oh wait, I am confusing oaths with sealing. Sorry.
Right. Sealing is between humans or anything, and then bargains are with humans and anything, but oaths are with changelings only, unless I do house rules. And I'm honestly not sure, because I want to be able to house rule that you can oath, or that you can make.
I vote because it's a change.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I vote that it's because it's a changeling game that we allow the house rule.
Yeah. So I'm totally cool
But
if you
that's-
want to make a contract with him. I'll allow that too, like a full blown oath.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for the oath to work, you need to either get his word and have him swear it, or it has to be in writing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing that, like Princess did in Exalted. It has to be like a, actual contract or a firm agreement. A sealing, if they just say something offhand, that's a sealing. But if you get them to like swear something, that's like a more permanent contract.
Mm-hmm. By the way, am I getting any feelings off this guy?
In terms of what?
I'm just like, could I feed off him while he's being all wormy and like...
What emotion are you trying to draw out of him? Because that'd still be a rule to draw.
Okay, so I get the draw out of a thing.
Yeah.
Not like he's an exuberating an emotion.
Yeah, but you'd have to tell me how you're drawing it out, because you still have to. If you want to say make him angry, you have to draw that you have to put that to this. You still have to roll something to pull it out of him.
Yeah.
Do I roll for Cheban sorcery right away, or?
In this case, I'm okay with waiving it, because you're not it's not actually a threat or a combat situation, and we already kind of established this. So if it just costs vitae, then you can spend that, and I won't make you roll for it this time.
Okay, I will do that then.
It's not I'm not making you roll because it's not you're not under time pressure. The other time you were, so in this case you're not. So it's not really a big deal.
Okay.
So sorry. So what emotion are you trying to draw out of him? Because you could feed off of his anger toward Lisa or Mikhail. That would actually be very valid. And you'd get an extra glamour, I think.
Mm-hmm. Sure, let's do that. I will ask about the thing.
You ask about Mikhail?
Yeah. What is your... I was going to say beef, but
Right, some other word, yeah.
Yeah.
I get the general impression of what you're trying to say, sure.
Yeah. What is your issue with the knight?
Oh, him. You can hear the anger dripping off of his voice, and from there you can kind of you can feel the anger dripping off of him. So I'm just checking to see what it says here. What's the mental effect for it? I'm trying to look for it. Because does it give you an extra glamour, or is it an automatic success? I don't remember.
I think it's an extra glamour. You get an extra glamour from the.
Okay, so you'll get an automatic glamour from that, and then we'll do harvesting. So what role do you want to use to harvest from him?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of like how I'm doing this. I guess
I would think manipulation would be the attribute, but then the skill, I'm not sure which skill. It's up to you.
I'm like, damn it, manipulation's my worst skill or attributes.
Well, then if you want to just like,
could I do wits?
Yeah, wits works, and wits, and then empathy.
Yeah, okay, and I have sense weakness, so would that do anything?
Sure. I'll allow that.
All right, so that's 5 dice for me.
More than 5 because he has a strong emotion, so it's going to be +2.
Okay, so that's 7 dice for me.
Yes, and then you get an automatic glamour, so you add that, and then you get whatever successes here.
All right. 2 successes.
2 successes. So so as he's saying, he's like, well, he always has been in my way, for decades. He always tries to stop me from whatever I'm planning on doing. He thinks that everything I'm doing is some kind of scheme. I'm just trying to make a living in this world, and he just likes to get in my way. I don't know what his deal is, honestly, but whatever his problem is, it isn't gone away. He doesn't like being around me. We don't get along, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I don't associate with him and his covenant. We stay far apart.
Fair enough. As long as you do not wish to hurt Lisa or her house, I have no issue with you.
Oh, I wouldn't do anything. This is a fine house. I wouldn't dare dream of it. He's lying, by the way.
Yes.
He probably would. I mean, literally, he probably would dream about destroying this house, but I don't think he would actually do it. But he's definitely thinking of it.
Wait. Does Willem has a lie detector or something?
No, he was making a wits empathy, so I was kind of just playing off of.
Oh, so he's just really good at telling when people lie.
Yeah. I'm making that part of his role here, so you can kind of sense the anger and probably his hatred kind of gleaming out of him, and you harvest that, so you get 2 more points of glamour from the successes.
Yeah, so that's I'm now at 5.
Good. So he kind of looks toward you after you kind of seep some of the anger. It's not something that he notices. It's very subtle. And after after you do that, he kind of blinks a bit and says, "So I don't want to continue on that topic. So why don't we discuss us?"
Yes. What are you wish to get my favor out of the way? How do you plan to do that?
Well, I don't know. You said you wanted a vote of confidence. With whom?
With your lord.
You mean the prince?
Yes.
Oh, I spoke to him about you. He doesn't seem to have any issue. So I guess we're even then.
Do I feel like the contract's like lifted or?
Yeah, you can actually feel it starting to lift, like on a subconscious kind of level. Like you can feel it.
Yes, we are even.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to just pick up my child and we're going to...
One more thing.
One more thing. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go. I would like your word that you would not harm this house or anyone in it. Just
What?
for my ease.
He's literally like, well, why is that necessary? What, you don't trust me?
I don't trust
Trust is earned. It's not initially had. I call from the back.
I am just thinking if it was any kindred in front of him, they would probably say no immediately.
So what do you say? You know, he's like, what you don't trust me?
I generally don't trust many people.
All right, well, if it'll make you feel any better, I swear I won't destroy this house.
And I'm going to seal that.
Sure. Okay. Well, so I'm asking, do you want to actually make it like an oath? Because you could do that, but I have to check how much it would cost. But that would like bind him to it completely. So you wouldn't be able to break it. Let's see. Yeah, that's swearing oath. So yeah, do you want it to be a sealing or an oath? Because it'd be your choice.
What's the difference? Sorry. Yeah.
So with an oath, it would be something way more serious. Like you'd actually bind him like completely. Whereas a sealing is more like you're binding him to his word, and it's like you can punish him. But if he breaks a oath, you could like banish him using magic.
Yeah, we're gonna do an oath because I'm protecting this house. Damn it.
Right. Okay. So I'm checking to see what you have to spend to do that.
I appreciate your dedication, Dustin.
So here's the real question, right? Who are you including in this oath? Because do you want to include him and Alistair, or are you including just him? Because you can include everyone.
I think it just gets harder the more that you have more people, right?
No, it isn't. He can choose to. So you could ask Alistair if he agrees also, and that would rope him into the contract as well.
I would assume Alistair would know that, so
he would.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I mean, gotta think of.
And he is raising his hand, so you also have to do the same.
Mm-hmm. All right. You will not send anyone to do your bidding to destroy this house?
Oh, no, nobody. I'm not going to send anybody to the house.
All right. I will give the hand and oath.
Okay, so you have to spend a point of glamour?
Yep, good thing I just got glamour.
You did. So I'm checking to see which one that would fall under. This is personal, I believe. Or create a new one with storyteller approval of changelings bound by an oath gain a beat whenever they suffer a setback, and I'll bring it to the oath up to once per chapter. Changeling can make a significant effort to express emotion inspired the oath in one soundless manner. Blah, blah. Regain willpower. Blah blah. Condition or tilt can suffer. Meant for each other. So like you're basically, and the interesting thing is he can feel this too. This isn't like a sealing where it just he didn't feel anything. This is more like he actually feels that you're bound together, and it isn't really something that he recognizes. So he's a bit kind of confused. But he kind of continues forward with his statement regardless. And he says, well, okay, I'm not going to destroy this house, and I won't send anybody after it. Are you happy?
Yes.
Okay.
You may go now.
Alistair, let's go.
Wolf's just gonna look at Alistair and like give the sly smile and the
give the what? What was the last part?
Like
and I will actually clarify to Alistair that because of your blood bond with your sire, you also feel like the situation, like you can feel that he's bound to William's kind of oath as well.
Yeah. So she's just looking between like her sire and Williem for a moment, and she's debating. She's gonna ask her sire to be like, Rowland, do you have anything that we have to do specifically?
Well, I'm working on campaigning, but besides that, no.
Well, then, would it be alright if I asked permission to stay here?
I think like he actually like goes on his heels. He's like, "You want to stay here?" Like he actually like doesn't even bother to hide the fact that he's mad. He literally like stands up. He's like, "You want to stay here?"
And she looks like she's like staring through him for a moment. she's like, "Man, Rowland, your temper suddenly rose very fast. Is there a problem with me staying here?"
Yeah, no. Well,
it's
a nice house. It's a very nice house.
I agree, and it's full of quite nice people.
You should return to our place, though. We have a nice hole in the alley. We should go back there. Come on, it'll be good. Together, you and me.
She looks over at Lisa. Would it be too much if I asked permission to stay here?
What the fuck?
I'll try and help around, of course. I'm not asking to stay for free.
What is wrong with her?
What? I admit I am confused. Why would you want to stay here? I mean...
yeah, I know, right?
Her sire's frantically trying to get her to leave.
He actually like is running up the stairs to like grab you.
So she actually got Rowland and me to agree on something. It's a really good thing vampires cannot have earth attack.
Yeah.
So wait, he's trying to come up to grab her?
Well, so the way it looks is Williem came down the stairs. You're up near the balcony.
I'm up on the top of the stairs, yeah.
And then but Lisa's in between you two, so he kind of runs, he's moving up the stairs to like get you, but Lisa's in between.
Yeah. The fact that he's moving so frantically too.
Yeah, he's frustrated. Like, come on, we're going back to our place. We don't need to stay here. It's nice, but you're not staying here. Like, he's actually being very firm about it. So actually, I think it's more like an order. Like, he's telling you can't stay here. So it's up to you how you want to react to that. But if you want to contest him, then it's actually going to be a roll.
She's going to contest him.
You. Yeah, okay. He has influence over you, so it's going to be difficult, but you can do it.
Does my discipline help at all?
Oh,
no?
You could use your discipline on him, but it would be difficult.
Then, if it'll help, like even
you could.
The odds, then
it
yes,
would
I will
actually
use my
even your
majesty.
odds.
I'll use my majesty stuff then.
Okay, let me go grab that.
You just have to tell me what to do with that. It's on my sheet and everything.
I will. Okay, I have majesty here, the first level, right? Which one did you want to do? Because you have, I don't remember which levels you have.
I have majesty 3.
Okay, yeah, that's why I'm asking which level.
I have all confident and green eyes.
So are you just using all here?
I'm pretty sure you have to use that one first, don't you?
Right. Yeah.
Isn't it like order based?
Yeah. Well, not
like
necessarily.
I thought it was like if
the second one is, and then the third one is. Yeah, actually, you're right. So you use them in order.
Yeah, you have to use all, and then like basically as soon as you use all and it works, then green eyes basically kicks in because it upgrades it.
So then in that case, what I'm going to say is it's going to be contested. He's not using his discipline, but he has a blood bond with you, so he gets a bonus.
Of course. But this is just to help even the odds.
So it's going to be... let me go grab
does striking looks work here? Or
I mean,
no? Okay.
you're not. He's not attracted to you.
No, that's right. You know what I mean. Like I wasn't sure how it works sometimes. That's why I gotta ask. Because I don't know my sheet. entirely.
I have a dice pool here. So then what I want you to roll is it's going to be presence plus what skill do you want to use here? Intimidation or persuasion? Which
Can I try and use expression to explain
that's
why I want to
acting.
stay here?
So it'd be more persuasion than if you're explaining it, because expression is if you're acting. So if you're acting a certain way.
Well, then I want to. I'm trying to think. Can I try and act like he's visibly upsetting me by trying to take me away from here?
That's fine. Yeah, you can act that way. That would be expression. If you're like putting on a show.
That I want to stay here and that it feels like he's taking away my freedom.
Okay, so then it's going to be presence plus
expression
plus 3.
Oh, Dad,
Plus
you're
3.
always doing this.
Yeah, you're always doing this to me. It's like, what if I want to stay here for a little bit? It's up to them. It's their house. All right, here.
So
Let's see. Yeah. All right. So let's
first,
see.
then he's gonna roll his resistance, and then he gets to roll resistance.
So
you don't understand what it's like being my age.
So it's presence plus expression plus majesty.
Yes.
Okay. And then can I expend willpower on this?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
All right. I think I know what I want to do for it though. I don't think I just want the flat bonus.
Yeah.
Can I
do the condition on him?
No. So there's, as far as I saw before, there's like a few things you can do with willpower. Can't you impose what was it 9 again?
No. That's only for hunters, I think. Or something.
For hunters? Okay.
I don't remember, but it's only 3 dice.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Unless you have a separate power that does something else.
No.
Which you don't.
I'll just go ahead and expend willpower to. Wait, what's the condition?
That's for if your striking looks applies, which it doesn't necessarily. Although you could enforce the condition upon him, but that'd be a whole different thing. He's just going to probably spend willpower to cancel that out.
Yeah, of course.
But that just means he can't spend willpower on this. Which is good for you.
Well, then yes, I will try to impose it. So he's going to have to either take it or use willpower.
So he's going to use his willpower to ignore that initial thing, and then he gets to roll Clash of Wills to resist your awe, but you still roll it, and then he can resist it. And then if he doesn't resist it, then he gets a.
Yeah. Okay. So then I have to roll basically 10 dice.
Yes. And then I'm rolling his.
You can only use 1 willpower, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's see. It's gonna be like 4 dice for his resistance.
4 successes.
Okay, so he fails to. So what this means is I was just checking to see if he resists your awe.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't. So that means your awe does actually affect him, even though he.
So does awe affect, and then does green eyes kick in, or how does that work?
You can choose to do that if you wish. That's up to your.
Then yes,
your
I will activate green eyes.
Okay, give me a second. So I'm gonna assume I'm not gonna make him roll anymore because you've effectively won here. Because I still get to roll it, but he's gonna be affected by awe either way.
Of course, yeah. No, I understand.
So the awe affects him.
To see if he's affected by green eyes, right?
Yeah. Well, no. This is to see if he can get more than 4 just to influence you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But he's going to be affected by awe anyway.
Yeah. And then what does green eyes do again? Remind me.
I have to look it up because I don't have it.
Because I think it imposes a stronger condition, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Actually, it doesn't.
1, 2.
Green eyes allow you to manipulate the feelings of someone, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it basically lets you manipulate them more deeply, I think.
Well, then I guess I'll try and manipulate him to have sympathy.
Okay.
But
sure.
It's level. It's unique.
He has 3. Yeah. So you have to pay a vitae for that.
Sure.
Also, has he already inflicted the charm condition because he needs that to use green eyes?
Well, I'm assuming this would, yeah. I don't think, because he failed to resist it.
Yeah, so I'm 7 out of 10 now.
Technically, you need 5 successes, but I'll still give it to you here because it's pretty close.
Yeah.
And you're, let's see, victim is now thoroughly obsessed, blah, blah, play with her feelings, can shift the emotional condition. So you want to basically make him agree with you?
Yes.
So he literally goes from, and this is affecting everybody in the room for the record, not to a deep degree, but like all of you are sort of you're not hypnotized by her presence, but she has a very strong effect on the entire room. And I'm not going to make all you roll, but it's the idea that she is creating this awe as a her presence is becoming more powerful, and Rowland has a chance to resist it, but all of you are just sort of kind of taken in by it as well. And you're not affected negatively or anything. It's just like for flavor's sake, like it's worth noting that, their spotlight is on them in the room. And Rowland goes from kind of running up to Alistair to just kind of stopping and like backing away. He's like, I'm okay. If you want to stay here, all right. You're my child. I've let you go. If you want to stay here, I can't stop you. But I'm just going to warn you that these people aren't going to be very welcoming of you. So
she's just
okay
gonna
with that, then
she's just gonna like stare at him and just like look at him for a moment and say like, they haven't said anything about like that stuff yet, and the fact that you're saying that just makes me feel like even worse.
I'm just gonna go. I don't want to be here. He kind of backs off of the stairs.
Yeah.
And he just kind of, his knees are shaking. His knees are shaking. He's like quaking in your presence, and you're overwhelming him.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. Yeah, no, I get you. She's just gonna like gesture for him to go.
He nods and like eagerly just sort of waltzes out the door.
I walk to Alistair.
So what do you say to Alistair then when you walk up to them?
You use the discipline inside my heaven.
1 second. I don't have. And she looks to him, and is it him or her? Sorry.
Lisa is a female.
Okay, her. Just had to make sure. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
She looks to her and she nods. She acknowledges what she did. She's not going to deny it, and she's going to just say, I've known him for a very long time. If he's dead set on something, he will fight tooth and nail for it, and I'm kind of tired of him trying to, I guess, manipulate me all the time, and he's gonna probably be angry later and not let this go.
Yes, he is.
You should have oathed him.
Is that when Williem says, like, well, I've bound him to his word, so...
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you should have just did what I did.
No, I'm saying, like, do you tell Alistair? Well, you don't know he knows. So
well, there's also, like, you have to realize there's also a big difference between, like, an oath and, like, imposing someone, because with, an oath, you have to make them, like, it's sort of like you have to make a promise, and, like, with his, like, state of mind, I don't think he would have promised that.
Of course.
Yeah, he would have, like I said, fought tooth and nail, so.
Okay, well, I at least will say I've made him promise to not harm the house.
Yeah. And she'll explain, like, he's not stupid. If he makes a promise, he's going to keep it. And even if he was to break it, he knows I would never forgive him. And the last thing he wants is to actually anger me.
I was actually gonna say, if he breaks it, he's banished too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, he doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's what William's saying. So, like,
yeah.
Oh, for the record, could you mark the oath on your sheet?
Oh
Or do
yeah.
you want me to? I'm just gonna have you mark it on your sheet, even though because the NPC doesn't really have. So it'd be better if you just put it on your sheet.
Yeah.
He swore an oath not to send anybody to attack the house, or he wouldn't attack the house.
Yeah. Oh, did I get anything for completing the ceiling for Rowland?
Let me check. I will check right now.
Because I'll just change that to oath.
Yeah. Well, the oath the ceiling was different than the oath that you put on him, but
Well, yeah, but the ceiling's gone, so I was just
yeah,
gonna.
I'm gonna check to see.
I
if
still
you
have
get
something with
anything.
Rowland now. It's just an oath.
I don't think so. I'll check though. A seal is broken when you fulfill the promise. Blah 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 blah. Unless he didn't do anything that was. It'd be if you had to do something like to deal with him, then it would be something. But I don't think if he just fulfills it, then it just resolves itself.
Okay.
It's not like a condition.
But yeah, she's like apologizing to Lisa.
Oh.
'Cause it's within. It was within your boundary. It was within your house. So
Actually, I think I would have had 2 more dice with the social thing.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you roll that then.
Yeah, because I just noticed with a condition with him with like +2 to social, so I was like, oh, that.
Yeah. So you would resolve that. So then you would get a beat for that.
Okay.
So you do get a beat for resolving that condition. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me quickly roll those 2 things in case I get more glamour.
Yeah.
Oopsie. I think I made a mistake.
So,
I was going to transition to, I think,
Okay.
Charlotte now, and then I was going to go back to.
but I haven't answered Alistair yet.
Oh, okay. You wanted to say your piece? Sure. Go ahead.
What goes between you and your sire isn't my business. And I understand you were under emotional pressure, so I will let it slide for now. But please restrain from doing such thing inside my event next time.
of course, and I only did it out of necessity in terms of for him, just because I know him so well. Next time, of course, I will. I won't do it unless you allow so.
It's definitely difficult for you, Lisa, because you have to fight off this the awe that she's putting out. So it makes sense for you to say, yeah, don't do this, because you actually have to fight this desire of her off of you.
Yeah, also, if I remember correct, using disciplines inside someone else's even is considered rude, right?
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, they indirectly affected you with their discipline too, so it's beyond anything that you would want to allow anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not making you roll anything.
She's also been away from a while from like the whole stuff, and like being inside of the Fae and all that stuff has just weakened her own memories on like rules and such like that. So she's trying to just she's trying to maintain like some level of rapport with you as best as she can, because she knows that she's messed up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Now let's prepare to receive the dragon.
enter the dragon.
To enter the dragon.
And
But
you can
before
turn in now.
Before that, some noise. Before that, we kind of enter into this scene. We see Charlotte entering into the front entrance of a large hospital. Where
real quick, do you need me for anything else, real quick? Just
technically not.
I might have to leave for a moment.
If you need to leave, you can go. Yes.
Okay, I'll be back like pretty much later. If you need to contact me for whatever reason, you have my Discord.
Yeah,
I'll reply as soon as I can.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a good one. I had fun.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So for Charlotte, you long, sort of dark greenish hair. She's wearing a lab coat, and she's speaking to a man wearing a suit. He has a top hat as well. I'll give you a picture of him. They're having a conversation in the lobby, and while they're doing that, I'd like you to roll me a chance die.
Sure thing.
I need to go get the picture. I put it in the other folder. Okay.
I got 0 successes.
That's good. You didn't want to succeed, so that means that upon seeing your fetch, you aren't entirely taken aback. Let me just go grab my notes.
You should let me know if I'm on a good roll or a bad roll, because, like, I'm just...
Yeah, I get you. Okay, here, I'll send you the picture. I have it right here. I should have it here. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me send you the picture. I'll put it in the chat here.
Yeah. I was about to say, man, with your freaking mask thing and making your fetch, you're just going for all the crazy today.
Hell yeah, I just want to snort some cocaine.
So this handsome-looking man...
You're recording shit.
This handsome-looking man approaches Charlotte, and he greets her, and he tips his hat. He says, "Hello, my name is Alden Moss.
I have that picture.
I can almost see mine. Shit.
I wanted to speak to you. I've been assigned as your lawyer for the upcoming trial."
God damn it, what the fuck did you do?
So what does Charlotte's fetch say in response to this man approaching her?
May I ask the details of the trial?
Well, yes, I'll be happy to exchange the details with you once.
No, I'm asking out of character. Like, I want to know.
Oh, you have no idea.
But then how do I respond correctly?
Your character has no idea why someone has come to them.
Oh, they don't have any idea either.
No.
Yeah, so can I have information about this trial? Would probably be a good response.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Yeah. May I have information about this trial?
Well, yes, I'll be happy to discuss the details with you. After your performance at the Elysium, we figured that it would be better to judge you more directly among the elders. Please, we shouldn't be discussing this openly. If you'll come with me.
Of course. They follow.
He takes your hand and sort of they walk past Charlotte and exit the building.
I'm like, which Charlotte is this?
The real Charlotte.
Okay.
Does the real Charlotte follow? Actually, yeah, real Charlotte follows.
Does the real Charlotte follow?
Does the real one follow? Yes, she does.
For the real Charlotte, please stand up.
So I'd like you to make a... Well, how are you following them? You can use different skills if you like, but the default would be stealth, unless you want to use like Streetwise or something.
No, actually, that'll be perfect because I do have the stealth expertise, so I'll probably try and blend in with the crowd.
Okay.
So that's dexterity plus stealth.
Yeah, and then you get a specialty.
Yeah, so that's 7 dice so far.
Okay, so you roll that. Go ahead.
Damn, I'm good. All right, well, actually, I shouldn't say that yet.
I'll make a roll to see if...
I've dealt with 9 dice, so...
Holy shit, I got 6 successes. Damn.
Okay.
That's a crit.
Right. So first thing I want you to do, I know this is going to sound bad, but I do want you to add a condition to your sheet that is negative first, and then I'll give you a positive one.
All right, this should be great.
The first thing, because I wanted to make sure I did this correct, because I almost forgot to give this to you. You have a condition called infamy on that you should have because of the situation at the dinner, and now you're actually aware of it in character, that you're being put on trial.
Oh, this is infamy with the kindred, I'm guessing.
Yes, that's correct.
Not the public eye, all right.
No. This is infamy with them. And you're being put on trial for insulting the prince, you'd assume. But you realize that they have not taken you, but instead your fetch is being taken.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's notoriety is what it's called. No.
I just feel so. I feel bad for them because they're probably just like, what the fuck? What did I do wrong?
I'm like, well, you get to do your aspiration of killing your pet.
Well, they don't get that. No, see, they don't. If someone else kills them, they don't get any benefit from that, really.
Death by pecking order.
I'm trying to remember where it was. It was infamy.
I mean, I don't know. If you indirectly kill someone, aren't you still killing them? Like,
well, unless they're directly responsible.
Well, to be fair, I think aspiration is dissect the fetch, not.
oh yeah, that's right. You won't be able to dissect.
Dissect them if. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did change my aspiration to what was it? My aspiration was locate fetch, and I just did that. So.
Right, so that would be you get a beat for that, and then you might get a new one for what happens further along here.
All right, well, let's see.
I'm looking for the one that I'm supposed to give you. I think it's called. I'm trying to find it here because it's negative. It was not amnesia, swoon, soulless. Oh, notoriety. Yeah, it is notoriety. Here, I'll paste it to you. Here, I can paste it to you now. I have it.
Well, you can always pretend to be your twin sister now.
There you go. So that's notoriety. But a positive one in this case. I'm just gonna say, instead of giving you a condition, I'll just be like, let it ride. Be like, they're not. You can probably hide like right in front of them, and they probably won't see you. I mean, or they won't notice you for the remainder of the scene, or in general, like if you need to find them afterwards.
All right, so they just think I'm a common prostitute. Perfect.
But one thing that you do notice is that regardless of your attempt to hide from the kindred, the woman who looks very much like you turns her head and meets eyes with you.
I give her a wink.
I flip her off.
She
actually no, I probably put like a finger to my lip and I just wink.
Yeah, just tell her to be quiet. She nods, and then this man walks her to another building.
God, it feels so weird to be working with a shadow doppelganger, but I like it.
Yeah, I know, right? So you want to follow. So where do you want to follow them up to? Do you want to see where they're going? Do you want to listen to what they're saying? Like, what's your goal here?
My goal is to essentially shadow my myself, I guess, and figure out what exactly is going on with this trial.
Okay. Essentially, they seem to be leading your fetch into a courtroom of some kind, into a office. Not a law office, but an actual like courthouse that's abandoned.
Oh,
or at
so
least
I could probably hide along the rubble of the abandoned courthouse.
Okay. So, well, more like it's empty, even though it's closed. So
yeah, it's closed for the day.
He uses a key. He gets in, and you can still sneak inside that building because you got a crit. So you don't need to roll again. So you can sneak into the building if you like and follow them.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So you do so, and he sits your fetch down, and you're nearby enough where you can kind of get what they're saying as you're hiding behind a pillar inside of this courtroom. He's saying, well, you see, rather than simply sentencing you to death, it's within our interest to hear out your defense. And I was assigned as in this case, your keeper, in other words, to defend you. So I'd like to understand your case.
Yes, well, I suppose we should start with who's charging me and for what reasons.
The society that you were involved with has decided that you are how shall we say, improper. And if you cannot prove your civility to them, they wish to have you removed from their society permanently. And this is not something I want. I would prefer you not to be executed without reason. But they have their reasons. They believe that if you have been so rude as to speak out against their leader, that it would be best if you weren't kept around.
All right, so I'd say that they look utterly confused because they have no idea what's going on. I see, and their ways of exilement is by death.
What type of dumb bitch would speak out to this leader?
Very strange. May I have the name of this? I'm afraid the name of this organization escapes me now.
Oh, you were at their function, I believe, according to the notes I received.
Was I? What was my fetch actually doing during that time?
There's nothing else you do. There's only one thing that you do.
I do doctor stuff and I walk away. I see, and this trial, I'm assuming it will be of my own peers, of whom I work with?
That is correct, as well as the sheriff.
I see.
Many of the elders have a case against you, and that is where the complaints stem from. But I promise that I will do my best to make sure that you are defended fairly. Now, do you believe that there's been some sort of mistake? First of all, I just want to be clear that this is correct, and that you are, as we say, that you were at this event and you did perpetrate these vile acts of disrespect.
I need to think of a good response in a minute.
Are they speaking slander, or is this what happened from your perspective?
I'm afraid that my recollection of the past night or so is much of a blur. I might need time to collect my thoughts and
I see.
Figure out what happened.
He takes notes.
Yeah. You're clearly drunk. Okay.
As you might know, I work quite a bit at the hospital.
That's what he asks. He actually asks you, "Were you drunk that night, or did you participate in any in drinking of anyone who was intoxicated?"
I'd say that I'm at this point
because for the record, vampires only get drunk if they drink someone who is drunk. So that's why he phrases it that way.
All right, so she sort of looks down and starts taking on the subterfuge, the subterfuge specialty that Charlotte herself has in a sense, and she's like, "Well, as you know, I work at the hospital, long hours, very long hours,
I wasn't made aware of your occupation, but it's in my notes now. Yes,
and I might have partaken some, alcohol." After a long day of work.
I see. Yes. All right. Very good. We can use that for defense. You obviously are willing to plead not guilty in this case.
Well, I'm guessing if I were to plead guilty, it would be off with my head, no?
That would be correct. I'm just confirming. You don't have a death wish.
I do not.
All right then.
Watch your fetch do better than you do.
I will work to organize your case, but we'll have to present among the elders and the sheriff by tomorrow night, so I won't have very much time. But I think this will be enough. Juliet isn't cruel.
Well, I would hope so. Godspeed.
He leaves the building. He doesn't notice Charlotte there. And at this point, you and your fetch might be able to have a conversation, or you can choose to leave the building as well. Follow him if you want.
Oh, nah. We're going to have a talk together. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Maybe should I just RP with myself? Because I could do that if you want.
If you can, then I have a difficulty doing it. But if you think you can pull it off, go ahead.
This is quite the situation. It is. like at this point, I guess it's gonna be hard to differentiate between the two, but I guess from the pillars, like Charlotte sort of like appears twirling her umbrella with sort of like just a disdainful look on her face. How was I supposed to know they would take such offense in my excusing from their dinner? Oh, so it was you. Yes, it was me. Surprised to see me? Not really. I could feel you from crawling on my skin from down the street. Fair enough. So what exactly happened? Well, tell me, do you know what kindred are? I'm a doctor, that is all. Ah, of course. They didn't fill your head with much besides doctor stuff, did they? The fetch sort of shrugs. I have my purposes. Very well, and I have mine. I received a letter and I attended their dinner and, well, let's just say there are more twisted things in this world besides what our master is. Albeit they're not as horrendous as he is, but they have their...
Now, I will clarify, just for the record, the fetch believes they're a real person, so they don't actually know about the true fate.
Don't they?
So they're probably just like, all right, so they don't really have any idea. Wait, do they know anything about
you could still say that in character. Like, they know what you are, but they don't know they were made by someone else. Because they think they're real.
Yeah. Do they think I'm real or a fake?
Well, so you can still say our master, but they won't know that they were made by someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
But do they know about the master in general or no?
No.
Oh.
But you can still say that in character, but they just won't understand what you mean.
Nova?
Yeah.
Sorry, but do you still need me for later, or?
If you need to leave, you can leave.
Okay. I would prefer to, because honestly, I would have preferred to stay longer, but I still need to be...
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. If you need to go, you can go. I'll PM you beats and stuff.
Okay, thank you. And sorry for interrupting.
No, it's reasonable. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good night, everyone, and good luck in your conversation with your fetch, Charlotte.
Thanks. I'll just talk to myself like I usually do. Anyway, so, well, besides that, doesn't really matter. The important thing is we have to get you out of the trial alive. Fair enough. Do you have any ideas? Well, you did a good job talking about being drunk. I did mention at the dinner that I had partaken in a meal beforehand, and that's why I excused myself. Though I don't realize why they would sentence me to death for excusing myself. Perhaps that's just how the way they are, this higher society. I'd explain more, but I wouldn't want to risk shattering your mind.
Your fragile mind.
And like they sort of like furrow their brow.
Do you like touch their face or anything? Like just like...
No, when they say that, they sort of like gently tap at their forehead. So, but lucky you, we have wits and intelligence on our side, so we can perhaps make a few pleas. Well, could always try putting insanity. That might be useful.
Well, I am talking to myself.
I mean, perhaps we could play it off as it was your mad sister instead of yourself. That might be amusing.
Oh, so we killed this one. Okay.
The fetch sure like furrows their brow. It's like the insane are not something to be made fun of. Listen, we're trying to get you out alive. No complaints. So I guess from there they try and like devise a plan where either they're going to plead insanity through drunkardness, or they're going to what I want to have planned out of character is that the two Charlottes are going to show up to court, and one of them is going to plead, "This is my insane sister. This is the one that showed up to the dinner, not myself. She often impersonates me for her little games."
Right. So you're gonna try for that point. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that they're going to notice that there's a difference between, because you said they look slightly different.
They do,
They
but
look a
not,
little bit different.
Yeah, like Dr. Charlotte. I guess that's a good way, or Dr. Croft, because technically you're not a doctor, so I can
Yeah,
call her
Dr. Croft looks a little bit older than me.
Dr.
And
Croft like aged, and you didn't age. So
oh my god, no! I'm gonna have Charlotte play the part of the crazy little sister diagnosed by her older sister.
You see, my little sister, she's insane.
She's gonna have a
Okay, so we can
PTSD.
kill this one. All right.
She's gonna have a PTSD flashback of like the hedge, and that's gonna be her insanity plea.
But here's the thing: the one who is at the dinner is the one that's on trial. So if you claim that that Charlotte's insane, they won't kill Dr. Croft, but then they'll kill you.
Damn it, they can't. Wait, how does sanity pleas work in this sort of time? Don't they just throw you in an asylum?
They would, yeah. Well, see, they are not human, so they wanted you to be killed. So if they want you dead, they're not going to throw you in an asylum. They're just going to get rid of you, unless you claim to be a Malkavian, which you wouldn't know how to. You wouldn't know that in character. But maybe they would. Oh, that might work though. I mean, if you tell Alden, if you tell Alden that she's insane, that you have an insane sister, and she was the one at the dinner, then he'd be like, "Oh, she's a Malkavian. Okay, now everything."
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing, because she'll just be like all right, Dr. Shaw will show up to the court, and she will say like my plan for the trial was that she would show up to the trial. She would say an apology and say, I was never at your dinner. Instead, you met my crazy sister who stays in the basement all day and never goes outside.
And the prince will just be like, oh, she was a Malkavian the whole time. Okay, I guess it's fine.
Prince is like, I fucking knew it. But yeah, I guess I'd close out the session with them orchestrating this. I'm not gonna have the full conversation for myself because that'll be depressing. But yeah,
no, that's good. Did you mark the beat for finding your fetch?
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect.
And now you can make an aspiration about the trial.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an aspiration, try and get the fetch out. Does getting the fetch out alive count as a trial?
Well, out of the trial, yeah, that would count as an aspiration.
Yeah, either of us out alive, basically.
All right, now I'm gonna make the aspiration say that we both get out of the trial, all right?
Yeah. The problem is that since you have notoriety, it is going to be difficult for you to make any kind of statement because you have -2. But that's just part of the challenge.
But that's me, not the fetch, right?
That's correct.
So
well, technically both of you, because they don't know who's who at this point.
Well, if I'm able to, I guess it depends on how I make my intro argument of shifting the blame towards. Because if I could if I could get the fetch to shift all the blame onto Charlotte, I could have her try and make the talks about the -2 roll.
That's technically true, but the notoriety is on your character, and they believe, because the whole plea is going to be, then you're going to have the -2, and then she won't, because they'll think that you're separate people. When you are, but you're not. It's going to be very weird.
Yeah, I'm like, this
will just be it'll be just like a hedge trial. Don't worry, it'll be great.
You are going to tell Alden that there are 2 of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, is Alden the lawyer?
Yeah.
All right, so we're both going to go to Alden together, unless you want to pivot out right now.
No, I'm gonna save that for another session. I think.
Right, so the trial next will be our meeting with Alden. This is my crazy sister, Alden. Say hello. Hello.
Okay, so this is how it's gonna be. All right, got it. Okay, no, most of that's just gonna be in between because I'm probably gonna just focus on. Okay, here's the trial and here's what happened.
Okay, how are you gonna prove you're crazy?
Yeah.
Another thing to point out.
Charlotte starts licking the table. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I want blood.
Another thing to point out is that most of the PCs are probably going to be at the trial, so even if things go tits up, you'll probably be able to get out some other way.
William just goes wolf and rock.
I wonder how Wilhelm's going to be acting. Why are there 2 of them? That's why.
Well.
Yeah, I think I know about fetches.
Yeah, he does. Williem does because he has also met his, or seen his, or knows about him. You wouldn't have seen him, but you know he exists.
Yeah.
So my last question. There's an echo for some reason. My last question was. Oh, it's Dustin. Do you want to have a scene with Kara, or do you want to leave things off?
Me?
Yeah, for Dustin. Do you want to have a scene with Kara? Because you're the only one left. So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking we could do that next time. Like,
oh, well, it's up to Kara what they want to do then, because they only got one scene, but I want to see if they want to do anything when they get to the manor.
It's like 2 hours later.
Yeah, but do you want to have a? You could have a scene with Mikhail if you like, because he's just an NPC. If you want to have that scene, or you could just go to your bed. It would depend on what you want to do. If you want to avoid anybody, but Williem will still be there. Everyone else will be kind of indisposed. But you could talk to Mikhail at least.
Yep.
So I want to give you another scene, so I will do that. So you're escorted into the manor. It's a large Victorian manor. There's staff. There's a butler who kind of helps you into the living room, into the lobby. And Mikhail's there. He greets you. Says, "Hello, Erravok. It is good that you have come. Please make yourself at home." And Lady Anne just kind of nods and says, "Yes, I'm happy that he can find a place here. He is in great need of it."
William's good.
I love his expression, just like, what?
Out of character. We should just turn this place into a hotel.
So Anne kind of lets you go because she's probably been holding your hand for a good period of time, and she kind of lets you off the hook.
She wants that D.
And kind of leaves the manor so that you're alone with Mikhail. And Mikhail just kind of eyes you up and down. You're much taller than him. He's tall, but he's not. He's probably like 6 feet. You're like 7 feet, so he's like, looking you up and down. He checks to see if you have any weapons, which I don't believe you do. He doesn't know that you have claws, but he checks to see if you have any weapons.
Erravok's sort of staring down at him.
He kind of pats you down a bit just to check to see if you have anything on you.
That's gay.
Grabs it. Erravok's going to grab him by the wrist. Yeah, fuck.
Okay. He's like, he freezes up, and he kind of looks up at you, as if he's like ready to like do some kind of judo move. But you get a hold of him, and what do?
What do you think you're doing?
I'm just checking to see if you have anything on your person. Please let me go. He's trying to be firm with you, but he's clearly like,
Williem there?
Small. Yeah, you're there.
All right.
He sort of releases his wrist.
I was actually gonna also like go let him go.
You don't have anything, it seems. Please, is there anything you need?
You're the one they call Mikhail.
That is my name, yes. Mikhail, Sir Mikhail.
You don't look like much.
I am a knight of the Templar Order, sir. Like my father before me, my sire before me. He doesn't say father. He says like my sire before me. I'm a knight of the Templar Order, and a proud servant of the, what was it? I'm trying to remember the Lancia Sanctum. There we go. Why did it take me so long? Lancia Sanctum.
You're watch over me.
That is my duty. Yes, as assigned to me by the head priest of the sanctum and Lady Anne herself.
I've got my eye on you.
And you. Please don't force me to do anything drastic.
Where's the Yali fan fiction?
He puts his hand. He has a sword, so he actually puts his hand on his on the guard of his sword, as if to give you a warning. But if he sliced you with a weapon, assuming it isn't made of cold iron, you could probably just snap it in half. So you're not worried about that.
Try it.
Erravok, this is not a good time for this. Do you want the huntsman after you?
Mikhail just takes his hand off of his sword. Only if it is necessary. I won't hurt you otherwise. I'm a man of peace.
Is that right?
Yes. I fight against the darkness in the name of our Lord.
Well, the one that sounds like a duck seemed to think otherwise.
A duck?
I'm gonna. I gotta mute.
I don't know how else would an African tribal, sort of explain an Irish accent.
Right. So
Ah,
a duck. He sounds confused.
like there was a tuck and duck.
Yeah, William's like, what? There was a duck. She's starting a navy.
No, the so-called holy man.
Holy man? Oh, you mean Rory?
Yes, the man with the voice of a duck.
His voice is beautiful. It is empowered with the brilliance of our Lord. Do not insult him.
I think he means the speech pattern that man has. It is very...
Mikhail just kind of looks side to side. He's like, shrugs.
His voice is unlike anything I've heard.
I could say the same to you, my large companion, person. You can tell that he's like trying very hard not to just use a slur at you. Like it's on the tip of his tongue. He's like, you large friend.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. I'll slap you sideways.
Well, there's a guest room upstairs. If there's nothing else you need, that is what we are providing for you.
There's no weird men that'll tell me to not walk in the sun.
Well, I don't recommend you walk in the sun. Actually, so he is going to. You can realize that he at this point is like staring at you kind of awkwardly. Because he's going to use all specs because he doesn't know what you are. He hasn't actually tried it yet.
Well, I'm going to meet his stare with an intimidating stare.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check if you get a resistance to this. I don't think you.
It's like we wouldn't have this situation if he didn't overhear everyone going on about
Mhm.
Mikhail and
Mhm.
how he'd do this and do that. Well, he doesn't seem like much to me. I'll fucking kick him sideways.
So, unless you have a, you can actually reinforce your mask here. I think that would be how you counter this. I'll check. 83. I'll check to see if you can reinforce your mask and make it a Clash of Wills.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you would contest this.
Yeah, I'm just like, what mask? The one that he dropped like in front of everyone?
No. The his like Fey mask.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go. It is 107. You don't have any stealth based powers, so it would have to be reinforcing the mask. Strengthen his mask so that's supernatural. Yeah, this is exactly. So if you want to, so you can contest this by spending a glamour point, and then you get to Clash of Wills against this. So
Well, what's he exactly trying to do?
he's trying
read
to
your
see
mind.
past your mask. But
Well,
yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't sound like something he'd really be too fussed over anyways. I was like,
Or
let
he's
him
trying
see.
to, yeah, actually, so in that case, he isn't trying to see past your mask, but he's trying to determine like what you are. Because he's not really sure, like if you're, he knows that you're like he's seen what I mean to say is that he's trying to pierce your mask in the sense that he is trying to like see your intention. Because you're right, he has already seen your true form, but he's trying to determine like if you're, if you're a kindred or if you're something else, because he can't really tell just based on seeing. If like, he's not sure if you're a fae or whatever, because he doesn't know that you can go out in the sun.
Let's see.
So that's what he's trying to determine here.
Let me check what me what are they? My contracts and shit do.
Yeah, but you already have the ability to reflexively just block it as long as you spend glamour. So you can do that or not. It's up to you.
Let's see. How much glamour do I have or not have or any have?
I think you failed to feed last time, so.
No, he got 2 glamour from that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I got 7 glamour.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can spend 1.
I guess I'll need to go out and feed more.
So it would be what finesse would you use here? Dex, it'd be social or mental. So it'd be either wits or manipulation. Which one's better for you?
There's always wits and manipulation with you, isn't there?
Yeah, it is.
Well, those are generally the defense stats, so.
No, it's not defense. These are finesse.
No.
So it says appropriate. So I'm gonna say it's closer to wits here for me because you're not using manipulation. So it'd be wits plus your weird. So wits plus 1 for you. And you can spend willpower if you choose.
Let's see. No, I'm not going to spend willpower.
Okay, so just wits plus 1 then.
What, in a glamour? Oh.
Yeah, and a glamour. Yes, just strengthen it. And then he's going to roll.
Wow.
Let me check. So he's going to have blood potency that's higher. So that'd be like he has a higher chance of being able to break the clash. And then he has to roll the ability. So it's going to be 3 plus, like, let's say, 3 works for me. Or wits, yeah. Okay, so like 6 days for him. Oop. Okay, that's 2 successes for him. and then you rolled. You got 2 successes. So it says ties re-roll.
Oh.
So we go again.
I got to re-roll these budget dice. Come on.
You don't have to spend another glamour though.
Oh, well, that's a plus.
Okay, he failed. So all you have to do is get a success here.
Off of 3 dice. Come on.
Okay. So technically, in this case, I'll say that he doesn't. So you don't strengthen your mask enough. It's technically like I'm thinking. Whoever scores the most successes wins, and you tied again. Actually, so yeah, so essentially we would roll again because it's a tie at 0.
Oh, great.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining it's like the Captain Ginyu rock paper scissors. Like it's a tie. It's a tie.
That one he got 1 success, and then I roll that one. Okay, that's 2 successes. 3 successes. So then you roll yours. We'll see how you do. Because you can get 10s and then they re-roll and such.
Oh, I know that. Still trying to find that link for the fucking contract. Oh, fuck it.
Oh, on the codex?
Whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, hold on. I'll give it to you.
I should have bookmarked the damn thing. Oh, never mind, I got it.
Okay. Either way, you'd roll this first and then, okay, so you got 1 success. Okay, cool. So he now has to roll his auspex. So I will roll that for him real quick. He's using auspex 2, intelligence, empathy, plus auspex. So I'll say like 4 dice plus like 2. So 6 dice. Okay.
Insensate. What is that?
I'm not sure. I don't know what context. That's 3 successes then, so he gets 3 questions. Yeah, so 3 questions. So what is your mood, first of all? That's the first thing I'll ask.
What, like a GM out of character sort of thing?
Yeah, like
ask him?
he can see your mood with his auspex, so that's the first thing I'll ask. Yeah.
Annoyed, perhaps. Yeah, and highly suspicious.
Okay. Second one, so he determines.
Clearly he doesn't trust Mikhail.
Okay, and then the third one is, he wants.
Where's the second question?
So the second one is he's going to determine your nature, and then the third one is he gets to determine your. In this case, it would be your. I think it's your needle. Or your thread. Which is, I believe, the hatred of mankind.
A hate of human ways, yeah.
Human way, yeah. So he kind of sees this. So we get a bit of a vision from his POV. He sees you. He doesn't like read your mind necessarily, but he gets like flashes of anger, and he almost can hear the crack of a whip. You know, these kind of things that are kind of going through his mind as he sees into your aura. Or into, well, he doesn't see, it's not an aura sight anymore. They changed that in second edition, but it's sort of, he sees into you. He kind of gets a feeling for how you kind of see the world and what kind of person you are and that you're suspicious. And he says, we are willing to cooperate with your kind. We are not like the men who have caused you strife and anger. We are above them. They are kind and we are kindred. And though I have respect for them, they are not to be seen as the same as us. We are separate from them. So do not see me as you would a man, but as a fellow creature of the night.
Sorry, what's this character's name again?
Mikhail?
Okay. Mikhail, if I may, I know a bit more about these creatures, and
You want to have a word with him?
Yes. If that
All right. I have had enough to deal with today. I'm going to retire to study.
Thank you.
He lets you kind of be alone. But he can clearly tell he seems to have some sense that Erravok isn't kindred, but he is something else. But he mentions actually before he leaves, he says the prince's treaty has granted you safety. So enjoy it and do not waste that opportunity.
Safety to, what was it that the holy man called me? An abomination.
He doesn't say anymore. He just kind of closes the door and leaves you and Williem in the lobby.
William's going to just sit down like across from him, like kind of in his very dog-like way, like you put all of us at risk with your actions. I hope you know this.
All of whom?
All of us who traveled here from the portal. Me, you, the other two.
I didn't ask to be here.
You might be concerned he could be a loyalist, for the record.
I'm not even sure where here is.
Here is your life before you were taken by your keeper. I'm not sure what type of upkeeping you had with them, but I'm sure they would want you back and probably would send people after you. And when you parade yourself like a predator, you put all of us at risk.
My actions are my own.
Well, you're now in this den, which I am sworn to protect, so your actions now reflect everyone. Just think on that. You're no longer a lone hunter. You're part of a pack.
I am me. I am alone.
I
I
am
answer to
me.
no one.
All hail Erravok. I'm just immediately flashing back to that song. I hate it so much.
No?
The Shadow the Hedgehog theme. It's the same. It's like because the one goes, I think it's I am all of me, and then there's the All Hail Shadow one.
Let's see. Here.
Way to ruin the tension there.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. Blame me for that.
No, but Shadow the Hedgehog music in my head. And to be fair, the Shadow the Hedgehog music wasn't all that bad.
No, it wasn't horrible. It's just I just thought of it. I should have shut up.
I am debating on trying to intimidate.
I don't want you guys to start an intimidate war. I don't think that's necessary, to be honest. I would veto that. I'd be like, nah, I don't think that would make sense here.
Bring it on, fluff bum.
Yeah, if you guys want to fight, I don't think it makes sense for you guys to. You don't need to intimidate him. You just talk to him.
Well, I also do have my pounce ability, which I can just be like, you either tense up or you run away. Fuck you.
I think that's unnecessary here.
Yeah, and I have my paralyzing presence.
Well, I have my air of menace.
Yeah, well, I have.
I have a
wait for me to scroll down to it.
Yeah.
I have red revenge, bitch.
Oh, please don't fight.
No, we're not gonna fight.
Yeah.
We're just having some friendly banter.
Yeah.
Or unfriendly banter.
Yeah. Well, regardless of what you do, you are still going to be hunted, if not by your gentry, by huntsmen. And dropping your mask like you did at the party, even mortals probably see that with the glamour that comes off you.
Huntsman, let them come. Any and all who challenge me, they will meet the same fate.
Let's see here. I'm actually going to roll a empathy roll and try to do my sense weakness thing.
In for like what context here? Like what?
I'm just trying to see like if there's a way to kind of get him to see reason. Because
are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then go ahead. I'll give you the specialty as well.
yeah, sure. Would it be wits or?
It's yeah, wits empathy, and then
Okay.
I get sense weakness.
So yeah, I got my 5 dice.
You marked the beat for the clearing the thing with Rowland, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
2 successes.
Okay, sorry, I'm just texting everyone XP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll deal with you guys when we're done with this scene. Actually, I'll mark it for him. Faster.
Scene transition.
Just need to get rid of the condition. Also here. And I need to clear the bestial condition as well. Like the vampire conditions, because they all wear off for you, for them. So I need to do that as well. So 2 successes. So Erravok can kind of give you an idea of what might help here, because I'm not entirely sure. Like how to understand his situation. Oh.
So what exactly are you looking for?
I'm trying to I guess fish for a way to maybe depride you a bit, just be I don't know, make you not seem like the biggest dog on campus.
That's a tough one, actually.
Or at least get you guys to agree that maybe Erravok should be working with you. I'd assume.
Yeah, that could also work.
Because he doesn't even see his gentry as a threat.
If you're looking for the best way to deal with him, then it's just to accept him as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think what you'd realize is that Erravok is very he's a proud warrior. So you kind of you don't think you can get through to them, I think is what you realize with your role. You're like, yeah, I don't think we have to find, we're not gonna find a consensus
Yeah.
I can appeal to.
The best way, you got to sort of meet him on a common ground, sort of. Yeah, he sees the verbal challenge or a physical challenge as sort of well, just that a challenge, but also like a sort of disrespect.
Yeah, so you might need to be more casual with him to get through to him, basically. Try to find a way to meet him halfway.
I understand that you are a proud warrior. And I am not your enemy. I am trying to help you. But you have to help me help you.
Yes, Erravok doesn't mind the words, by the way.
I am not a warrior, I'm a hunter. Though we do have the same need to kill and prove ourselves. I err on the side of caution and survival. And I know that sometimes being a prey is, well, difficult, sometimes more useful than being a predator. And I know what hunts me. I assume something similar is going to be hunting you, or perhaps something even stronger than you.
You speak of caution. Right now, my caution is directed at Mikhail.
How so?
I heard things from his fellow kindred. the holy man, and 2 of the women.
Go on.
They view me as an abomination. The holy man seems to think that Mikhail has the ability to destroy me. Well, I say, let him come. He will not find me easy prey. He will not find me easy at all. No. I face my enemies head on. Look them in the eye. I don't sneak around in the shadows like them.
From my understanding, these creatures might not be your enemies. At least the ones that I've dealt with have been quite useful.
Yes, well, they don't seem to be my allies either.
That could change. A pack is stronger than a lone wolf, regardless on how strong the leader of that pack is. You can use them. I'm using them right now.
But I am not a wolf.
Nor I a dragon. But right now, we are, like it or not, we are a part of this pack. And if you wish to survive, then you should probably stick to it. If not, leave.
I didn't ask to come here. They brought me here.
Well, you have freedom to walk out in daytime. They do not. Find your way back home. You will miss it so much.
I already know the way back home.
Then why are you here?
There are things I need to know. Things that bemuse me.
And what things are these?
These strange and frustrating ways that these humans have. Their tendencies, their idiosyncrasies, their eccentricities, their habits. They are not worthy of being the inheritors of this land, this world.
From the looks of it, they only think they are.
Yes. They think they are. But there's a storm coming. They are in for a rude awakening.
Actually, I think this would be a great place to end unless you want to say anything else. It's really good.
I will see to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay. I don't want to do too much more, but if you want to say something else, yeah. Did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, and your plans are what? Kill them all? We do feed on them still, as do other creatures.
Like the cattle, so shall they be herded, corralled.
Okay. So let me give you guys your beats, and then we can kind of talk, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. I just was trying to make sure everybody got them. So first of all, both of you get beats for just participating. So
All right.
both of you add one there.
Yay.
The other thing I wanted to say was for Erravok, I know you had a thing for gaining resources. Technically, you didn't get resources, but now you have access to the Haven. So you don't need to get rid of it, but I was wondering if that would count for you for your aspiration.
I don't know. You're the GM. You tell me.
I was going to say it could count because you technically didn't make a bargain to share the resources like Williem did, but you don't necessarily need to because you already have access to the Haven. So I was wondering if that counted for you. If it does, then you can take a beat for that. But you don't need to mark it off just yet.
Well, no. There's the thing in between brackets there has become more independent.
Right. So no, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just,
the Haven
that's
is
why.
a dependence on. Yeah.
Yeah. True. So no, that wouldn't count. Okay. And then I'm not sure if I don't think Williem had anything that came up.
I don't think today I did.
Okay. Good job, though. I still think you did pretty good. So yeah, both of you get one, and then I'm gonna shut this off, and we can talk if you want. But I just want to make sure that we.
Yeah, I need to get some food, so I will be right back.